Would you like to support the Insiders? Pick up some merch now. Support us by getting a shirt, a hoodie, support Abby's window, get a Shenanigans shirt, whatever you'd like. Pick up some merch now. Insiders Pro Wrestling. The link is at the end of the video.
What's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday night, and welcome to another episode of Between the Ropes. We are starting WrestleMania week here. We have a lot going on. There's a lot happening on our channel this week, so we're glad you can come out and join us tonight to do so with us. Firstly, I have to thank all of you watching, all of you not watching, all of you maybe going to watch, whatever the case might be. But thank you all for getting us to 5,000 followers on Twitter. So that's pretty cool. A milestone. Yes. A milestone on Twitter. So, thank you all for that. We really, really appreciate all of you who follow us everywhere, whether it be Twitter or Instagram, TikTok, social media, Facebook, whatever. But thank you all for doing that. I know there's a lot of interaction. We get a lot of interaction on Twitter and even really on our YouTube page. So really, really appreciate that. So thank you all for that. Jeff, there is way too much going on between just everything we've got to talk about tonight, and obviously we're doing predictions as well, WrestleMania predictions later on in the show, but we've got a ton going on. Abby's window tomorrow at 6 o'clock, of course. Thursday, good sweet Lord, if we live through Thursday, we have Impact Wrestling at 7:45, which is not a tape show for the first time on Access TV. So not a tape show. We're going to be doing that live show. Then we get a little bit of a break, which we're going to need, power nap. And then we're starting a watch along for Multiverse United at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is probably going to go to like 2 a.m. So we're doing that. Not that that's bad enough, but then we go into Friday. Friday, we're going to do SmackDown. And then, of course, after SmackDown, it's the Hall of Fame. So we'd probably be on that until about 12:30-ish in the morning. Then, not if that's enough, we're going to turn around in the next day's WrestleMania, which starts at 7:30 and probably goes to 11 or so. And then we're back again on Sunday with another episode of WrestleMania, of course, the second night, which goes from whenever to whenever. So lots and lots of content coming from us this week, Jeff. It's going to be an insane week.
Yes, going to be a lot going on, but it'll be a lot of fun. So
yes,
Yeah, come out and check us out. We don't expect you to be here the entire time, but, come check us out.
Yes.
It'll be
Yeah.
fun.
It's the most fun week of the year for wrestling fans. Literally, it is. And it's not just because of WWE, but so many other, and I've said this during the course of the week last week, so many other things happen in NXT. Of course, check that out on Tazzie's stream on that Saturday. And then other companies as well. AEW is doing some stuff. ROH is doing some stuff. The Indies, so many things going on for the Indies on Thursday and Friday. Like we were saying with Impact and things. I mean, everybody in wrestling is doing something. So it's very cool. It's a very hype week if you're a wrestling fan to get excited for. Those of you I feel bad for are people like James Chadwick, because there's just too much to watch. You'd literally be staying up 24/7 to be able to check it all out. But it's really a fun time to be a wrestling fan. And the one thing I hope for everybody, and I'm sure Jeff shares my sentiment here, is that we all just enjoy what we're seeing. I know it's so hard to say, but let's keep it, and I'll just tell you guys in our chat and people who listen to us, but keep it as positive as you can. Enjoy the wrestling, have fun with it. No, like Jake said, no bitching and moaning and complaining. This is the week when wrestling fans can just come together and just celebrate whatever it is that you're watching, whatever you want to watch, whatever entertains you. Just celebrate it, Jeff, and enjoy.
Yes, and I'm gonna say this just outright. I'm not gonna beat around the bush at all tonight, so just be ready for that, because I'm not filtering anything for anyone. I don't care about your feelings tonight. I'm sorry. It's time for truth. It's time for truth.
Getting down to the
Um,
nitty gritty, baby.
yeah, just get down. Um, if you don't like WWE, that's okay. But I don't want to see 1,000 posts or whatever about how crappy WrestleMania is when you don't even plan on watching it anyway, and you haven't watched anything leading up to this point.
Yep.
I'm not interested in your opinion. If you don't watch Ring of Honor, don't crap on the Ring of Honor card,
Right.
because if you don't watch it, then what difference does it make? You don't need to gripe about it on social media
Yep.
or anywhere else. It's disingenuous.
Yep.
You're
Yep.
being a jackass. So just enjoy what you enjoy. There's enough to go around this week.
Mm-hmm.
Plenty of promotions, plenty of different things going on this week. Have fun. Enjoy.
Yeah. Exactly.
This is wrestling Christmas.
Yeah.
That's what this is. This is wrestling Christmas. So enjoy.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Great thoughts. Yeah, it really is. It's a time for everybody to find something that they enjoy. There's everything is out there for you. And like Jeff said, there's no reason to be going on Twitter spouting off negativity, spouting off things about, oh, I hate this, I hate that. That match was terrible. It was like Jeff said, who cares? Who cares? If you don't like it, shut up and watch something else. It's that simple. I say it all the time. Use your clicker if you still have a clicker. Use your off button, whatever it is that you do. Just turn it off, man. It's 3 simple words. Shut it off. It's very simple. It's so easy. You would think but yeah. Again, all right. We've got a packed house tonight, so we're going to start off by doing our regular show here. So we'll start off with the news. We'll go into Sell or No Sell. We'll do the grievance. Of course, Jeff's got a really, 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 really good grievance. If you watch that Twitter video that I posted of poor Rhea, horrible. Jeff's got a grievance about that, so stay tuned. And then we'll go into our favorite moments. And we'll get into what to watch for, of course, because there's a lot of that. And then after that, we will do our WrestleMania predictions. So predictions are going to come at the end, or very close to the end. And yeah, so like I said, I pretty much mentioned all the content. We have Abby's tomorrow. We have Impact double feature on Thursday. We have SmackDown. We have the Hall of Fame ceremony, and then we have 2 nights of WrestleMania. So just tons and tons of content this week. So join us when you can, because it's going to be a really, really fun week. So that said, let me welcome in some people, and we're going to get going to get the party started here and get rolling. We have got Brandon Wayne Lewis. We've got Ishii. We've got James Grant. We have got Paul D. We have Dylan McClure. We have Derek is in the house. Anthony Slate, a member of our channel. Thank you so much, Anthony. We have Anthony in the house. Yes. A little applause for our members. Yes. And like I said on the stream the other day, please don't think, any of the members out there, don't think we forgot you. We did not. We will be getting to membership stuff. I give a little clue of that on Twitter today, because I asked all of you what your favorite all-time entrance theme is for any wrestler. I put that on Twitter today. The reason I did so is because we may be having a little top 10 show on the rise, possibly for our members. So keep us posted, or keep watching for that, because we should have that out somewhere very close down the road. Again, when the WrestleMania stuff dies down, everything dies down a little bit, we'll have more free time to be doing that stuff. So we have not forgotten you. We have Jody's in the house. Jody, if you're around later, I'm sure Jeff can get you in. So you're more than welcome to jump in. I didn't want to assume, because I know you're busy and you've got work and all that kind of stuff. So you're welcome to join in if you're around. It's going to be a little bit later on, but you're more than welcome to join in. Elise is here. Sorry, I haven't been vocal. My face was full of hay fever and couldn't see properly. Ooh, that sounds bad. I'm glad you're getting better. Big Dan is here. We've got Craig Backlund is here. We've got West 420. We've got James Chadwick. We've got Hassan is here. We got, let's see, 5K. Yes. Big number for Twitter. That's awesome. King Chris is here. We've got the Coog is here. We've got Brandon is here with the Final Four update. We've got, let me see if I'm missing anyone. We got Conrad. Hey, Conrad. We've got Bonus Baby is here. We have Sean Rousset. Hey, Sean. We have, let me see if I missed anyone. Brandon Barnes. Hey, Brandon. We've got Paul D saying, well said, Jeff. That was for Jeff's thing before. We've got, I think everybody. Did I hit everybody? Bonkers LFC. The champ is here. We have Hanzo. Hey, Hanzo. How are you? Nice to see you. We've got the King is here. And I think we're good. Yes, we are good. Okay. So Jeff, let's start with the news and get this show on the road.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it. Let's hit the news. Not a lot of news that we're going to do this week because we have such a big show, but yeah.
I will start off with this. Make sure that you watch Raw tomorrow. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say anything else. Make sure you watch Raw. Don't miss Raw tomorrow, for several reasons. There's some great stuff happening on there. Of course, Cody and Solo. But there, let's just say that there are things out in the wild. And so a lot of you who are followers of ours, and I'm sure you probably may know who I'm talking about, but we may, and I'm not confirming anything, so let's get that straight. I don't know for a fact. I'm not confirming it, and I will not say that I am, but we could 50-50 here. It could happen, it could not. So don't hold me. Yes, we could get something. Now, that something could be in the form of QR code. It could be something in the form of White Rabbit stuff. It could be in the form of any of that. We don't know. Now, the question's going to be from everybody, does that mean he will show up at Mania? There's no word. So, and I told Jeff earlier, and Jeff agreed with me. I kind of think that if they do this, they're going to work it a little longer. So it will go for after WrestleMania. And I think, and Jeff, again, I mentioned it to Jeff earlier. Jeff agreed with me in saying that it just kind of seems that would work out better. Especially now with only 8 days to go, 7 days to go. No, even less. It's Sunday, right? So it's 6 days. It's too late almost for anything else at Mania. Jeff, and I want your thoughts on this. My idea would be have the little QR codes again, start them up again, almost like a bring back type of thing, because he's been gone for so long, right? Yeah. Bring them back, start those up, have them on Raw, have another one on SmackDown, right? And then there's rumors about the Hurt Business, and so have those two things happen. And then at Mania, if Bobby does end up on the show, which we don't know, all we know is he's at the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, right? Right. So if they're going to do the Bobby thing, maybe have something happen to Bobby on Friday at the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, or you get something at Mania in the form of an attack or an interruption, something like that, that will then lead to the Raw following WrestleMania, and then we go. Okay. Yep. That's what I would think, Jeff. What would be your opinion on how to go with that?
We're on the same page. What I would say, start doing some teases tomorrow night, carry that through the weekend, and have something happen at Mania, attack, or just have an entrance with some great music, get the crowd into it.
Yep.
Give him that opportunity on a big stage, because that's going to be tremendous. I can't wait to see. I'm jealous of Derek's dad right now.
I saw that. Yeah.
My God. That woman. Yeah. Never mind. So anyway, back to what we were talking about here. That comment got me flustered.
Jeff is verklempt. Yeah.
I need to play this for myself, as a matter of fact.
Giggity.
Honestly, I would love to see some stuff teased through Mania, have something happen at Mania, and then we get started towards SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Because honestly, with SummerSlam, that's been Bray's pay-per-view.
Yes.
Historically, you could do something really big there. You could almost build that show around him in some ways.
Yeah.
Just as a a way to make up for some of that, I guess. But yeah, I would love to see them not rush this, because I think this is such a special thing that we're seeing. And it's not for everybody, and that's fine. We say that here all the time. It's fine. But we love it. So, but yeah, I think that, if you did something like that, it could be really special. And I know a lot of people are thinking that, when we talk about time right now, we've seen a lot of teases from a couple people, Dutch and Vincent.
Yes.
I know a lot of people want to see them, and you can still bring them in the meantime.
Yep.
I don't think you have to save that for a pay-per-view. It would be special at a pay-per-view, but I think you can make a really big deal about a SmackDown or a Raw if you brought one or both of them in at the same time. So there are a lot of different ways you can go with this, but I don't want people to lose hope in the whole story per se. I just don't want you to feel disappointed and defeated if he doesn't come back and have a match at WrestleMania. Maybe they can do something else.
Yep, exactly. And the one thing we all have to feel pretty good about with this whole situation is the fan tweeted out. I shared it. Actually, he followed us. I followed him. He tweeted out that picture of him and Bray. So we know that he's out and about. He's doing well. And that's a good thing, right? Because we didn't have a clue. We didn't know what was going on, but now we saw him. He looks good. So, that's something to build on. And that poor guy, by the way, he got so many people that stole his picture, basically. All these wonderful, lovely dirt sheets that just like to take people's stuff and use it and not give them an ounce of credit, tell where it came from, all that good stuff. I even asked him this morning if he wanted us to take the retweet down, which he said no, because we're not taking credit for anything. We don't write articles or anything like that. But apparently, a lot of people wrote articles saying he was spotted and all this. Even used his picture, gave him no credit, which is awful. But yeah, so listen, worst comes to worst, and they'll talk about this tomorrow on Abby's. I'm sure Jody will have a theory of her own. Jeff will talk about it some more. I don't know if Dom will be there. He's gone to WrestleMania, I believe, so I don't know if he'll be joining them or not. But join them tomorrow on Abby's at 6:00 for much more about all this. Where they think it's going to go, what they think he's going to do, what they think we could see on Monday. So good segue into that. But, just the fact that he's up and around, he looks good and everything like that. So that's just good news, which, yeah, James Granite said it's great to see. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't mean he's cleared. No, just because somebody saw him outside doesn't necessarily mean he's got you have to go through a process. It's like a big injury. You have to go through a process. If, it doesn't mean he's going to come back to wrestle or he's cleared to wrestle yet. We don't know that. We don't know the process. We're not privy to that knowledge. So yes. Hanzo, thanks for the donation. I have him do a QR code Monday, coordinates for Friday, then Friday do a White Rabbit skit. Tomorrow night the door opens again, coordinates LA. Yeah, it would work if they're going to show up at Mania. Sure. Yeah, why not? Why not? Just keep using that. Everybody loved that stuff so much anyway, that Clue stuff. Keep doing it. I heard from a little birdie that they are going to use the QR codes and the rabbit for his expansion for 2K23, which is freaking amazing if they do that. But that I heard that. I don't know how true that is, but I did hear that. So I think that's really, really cool. If they do that, incorporate that into the game, I think that'd be a lot of fun. So, okay. All right. So that's that. That was just some breaking stuff that we got yesterday and today. So yeah, and they'll continue the discussion on this on Abby's tomorrow. So make sure you join them tomorrow at 6:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, Jeff, what do we have up in the news?
All right. Up first, we got a couple of announcements for the Hall of Fame. We've got Andy Kaufman and the Great Muta going into the WWE Hall of Fame.
Slow and Steady wins the race for the WWE Hall of Fame this year, right? The announcement shoes that come like, oh my God, they'd have one on every show, but they're coming in at a slow pace this year. Of course, the Great Muta, definitely deserving, one of the best of all time. Yeah, Muta is an absolute legend, and the Andy Kaufman thing was a surprise to me, but I like it. He and Jerry the King Lawler, that whole thing brought so many eyes to wrestling at a time where there wasn't necessarily a lot of it. So on the Letterman show that happened, and that whole thing, the interaction with Kaufman and with the King, which of course was scripted, but no one back then knew. Wrestling was very popular to a lot of people because that was at a time where not a lot of people knew that it was entertainment, that it wasn't real. A lot of people thought it was. And so I remember watching that. I was like, oh my God, like he hit him. I was like, what? And then Andy Kaufman came up and I'm going to sue you. I'm going to sue you. And so it was very realistic. And Andy Kaufman was an incredible comedian. Most of you will remember, if you, well, a lot of you won't because you're young, but if you were watching TV in like the late 70s, early 80s, you remember a show called Taxi, which is one of my favorite all-time comedies. And he played Latka on that show, who was this foreigner that talked with this really funny, weird voice. And if you never saw it, if you want to learn about him, watch the movie called Man on the Moon. It's excellent. It's a really good movie. Jim Carrey played him. It's really, really good film. It'll tell you a lot about his life and what happened. And he does do the whole reenactment of the Jerry the King Lawler piece. And Jeff, I'm guessing, I'm hoping anyway that Jerry would induct him, because I think it would just.
I think that would be a great way to do this. Hopefully that's the case. I know that Jerry had some health issues before, so I think that that would be great. Very fitting, given the history between the two. So yeah, I'm happy to see him getting in there. And people are gonna be naysayers about everything. And I saw some comments like, "Why are they inducting him?" And I don't know who this is. Use Google.
Right.
But like Jody said, when you're sick, consult a healthcare provider or professional. Don't consult Google
Right.
if you're sick or something. Don't do that because according to Google, you're well, never mind. I'm not even gonna go there. So anyway, yeah, I'm happy to see Andy Kaufman get in, and with Muda, I'm glad. I'm really happy to see him get in. Saw him do a lot with NWA back in the day, a lot with WCW, and I would say that it's very possible that Flair inducts Muda.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, that would be really, really cool. Could definitely see that happening.
Yeah.
J-Hub is back.
What's up,
Wow.
J-Hub?
Damn, it has been a long time.
Yeah.
I've been overseas, but I'm back. So as always, give me a shell, yeah.
Shell, yeah.
Yes. J-Hub is a regular on our Impact stream. So yeah, welcome back, dude. It's been a long time. But yeah, it's and we still have yet to have we heard who Mick is inducting yet?
No.
Yeah, so Mick Foley did say he's inducting someone at the Hall of Fame, and we have not gotten that name yet. So, and there's not many shows to go. There's really only Raw and SmackDown. If they're going to announce one on each show, and if they wait till SmackDown, that's really last minute because the ceremony is afterwards. So, I'm not real sure who Mick is going to induct, but we're still waiting for that to see who that's going to be. Don't forget, we will be doing a watch along for the Hall of Fame. So we will be doing that after SmackDown this coming Friday. So join us for that. We couldn't last year. I think didn't we have an Impact pay-per-view last year? I think we did.
Yeah, we had multiverse of matches last year. So
yeah, that's right. We did. So
yeah.
That'll be the previous night when we'll be suffering that night.
Yeah.
But anyway, yes, we'll be doing that. So join us for that. All right, Jeff, what is next?
All right, up next we've got
oh boy, this is everyone's favorite.
Yeah. I was about to say everyone's favorite topic on this channel. Bill Goldberg is a free agent.
I almost, those of you who are Star Wars fans, when this news broke, it was almost like the Ewok, the song at the end of the celebration when the Emperor died. I could just hear that music. Everybody rejoicing, all and waving their hands up in the air. And then I found out a couple of days later that Jordan Grace met him at an airport.
Yeah.
I'm like, no. But yes, he is officially a free agent. So he is not in WWE anymore. So take that as it may, as you may. Listen, we make fun of the dude. We poke fun at him. But when I think of this guy, I go back to early WCW. Yeah. And when he had come into wrestling, and nobody kind of knew who he was, and he had that big, long, undefeated streak. And then now I'll be honest, I was never a big fan of his anyway because he basically took down the NWO, which pissed me off. He beat Scott Hall, and then it was Scott Hall and then Hogan. Was it Scott Hall and Hogan the same night? Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
So he beat Scott Hall, who I absolutely loved, and then he beat Hollywood Hogan to win the title. So I was never a fan of his the way it was. But you got to give him props. He was a big piece in that whole NWO story, and all that. Say what you will, he's it's a shame because I think when a lot of people think about him, they're going to think about more bad than good. They're going to think about the Bret Hart thing. They're going to think about the Undertaker botch. They're going to think about, it's a shame because I think the guy, for those, I don't know if anybody has met him or whatever, I think the guy's probably a genuinely nice guy. And it's just a shame. Then they think about the Brock Lesnar match, which was a mess. A lot of his matches didn't didn't really live up to things. He was very, he was kind of a guy who, and it's funny because so many people beloved Hulk Hogan, but he was similar to him because he only had a few moves. Hogan had the slam and then the leg drop. Goldberg had the jackhammer and the spear, and that was they were very, very similar. But Hogan's revered until, of course, he was stupid, and then Goldberg. But yeah, say what you will. It is what it is. He's a free agent now. If he wants to, he can go anywhere else. If someone chooses to sign him to bring him back and wrestle a match or two, we don't know. But either way, the Goldberg era in the WWE is over. So go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just say, growing up as a WCW fan and seeing this guy from the very start, my opinion is a little bit different of him than most people.
Yep.
He's a legend. Um, Regardless of what you feel, he's a legend. He did something that was very, very tough to do in the wrestling business, and that's captivate audiences anytime you heard his music, anytime you saw him. I mean, he had your attention.
Yeah.
He commanded it. Seeing him on just a free Monday Nitro up against Hogan for the title.
Yep.
They started talking about that. That was one of the times that people thought that was the beginning of the downfall of WCW.
Should have been a pay-per-view match.
Giving that away for free. Yeah.
Yep.
But honestly, he's a legend, and there are some things that I can't stand about some of the ways that the booking has happened, and some of the stuff with like the Undertaker. Obviously, I was very pissed about the thing with Bray.
Yeah.
But I can't take away from that. So I think if anyone signs him, I think they're doing that with that understanding coming into it, recognizing the name recognition of a Goldberg and what that could do for your product in terms of bringing eyes in. You're going to get those people who maybe haven't watched wrestling in 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
Say,
True.
oh, Goldberg's over here now. Let me flip this on real quick. I mean, at this point, if I'm a executive, if I'm even thinking about signing him, that's what I'm thinking about. Can he put butts in seats? Can he put eyes on my product? That's it. And that's the play. So, and I feel like WWE is in a spot at this point with Roman and Cody and Sammy. They don't need him to do that. They don't need Goldberg for that. So there's no point in him being there, because it's not like he's going to put on, 20-minute classics with the likes of Sheamus or Drew McIntyre or people like that. So that's not why he's there. So that's my thought.
They basically have the equivalent of him now and a better wrestler in Brock Lesnar. If they want this to, I mean, nobody's thinking we're going to get a wonderful match from Brock and Omos, and they think it's going to be very quick and over very quickly. That's kind of what you would get with Goldberg at this point in his career. So, like Jeff said, it's basically to put butts in seats for maybe a big pay-per-view that you want to have, and just have maybe that one-off match that you would never have thought of having before. James talking about Tony Khan will probably get him in. I mean, I don't know. Do you have him go up against Chris Jericho at this point in his career? You have him go, those two names together in a ring would probably bring attention to a pay-per-view. So, and we never know. We never know. He could end up back somewhere at some point in time. He did say, I think in an interview, that he wanted to have a retirement match in WWE, but that's not going to probably happen. So Goldberg versus Sting in 2023. Oh God. Yeah. A 50-some-year-old and a 60-some-year-old. Oh boy. Yeah. But anyway, like I said, he was a legend in the time that he was in, and so you do have to give him respect. Like Jeff said, the entrance, I mean, you'll never forget it, right?
Yeah.
The coming out down the hall with the security, banging his head on the locker room door, the big smoke coming out when he was, it was a big thing. So yeah. So we'll see where he ends up. We'll see where he goes. But either way, he's not in WWE, and a lot of people are probably happy about that.
Yeah, a lot of people probably are. And, we get it. And honestly, I think someone brought up AEW. A lot of people have been down, and I saw someone mention this, so I don't want anyone to think that I'm stealing a thought here, but Tony's Dark Nightmare says, could Goldberg do to Wardlow what Sting did to Darby? And that's the direction that I would go if I'm Tony Khan. That's exactly how I would do it, because you've got some people that are like, well, Wardlow he's not as hot as he was at one point. And, maybe bringing someone in like that for Wardlow might add some spark back for those people. I don't know. That's not something that I necessarily need, but it could happen. I mean, there are tons of ways that they could do this. So, but yeah, I think, again, going back to what I said, I just think that at this point, if you're an executive, if you're someone running a promotion and you're able to fork out the money that Bill Goldberg is going to command when he comes to your company, if you're able to do that, you're looking at, what's my return on investment? What's my ROI on bringing in a Bill Goldberg? Is it going to increase my viewership? Is it going to increase my attendance at live events? That's the way you have to look at it.
Yeah. Yeah. Very true. Good point. All right. Moving on. What's next?
All right. Up next, I popped for this on the on the watch along, Joe.
Impact's getting a new knockout, Jody Threat. And thank you to James Chadwick. James Chadwick sent me over a video because I did not know of Jody. She's obviously from the Indies, and so he sent me over a video to watch, and she's very impressive and going to be a great addition to an already filled knockouts division in Impact Wrestling. And couldn't have maybe come at a better time either, because we don't know what's going to be the case with Mickey and a rib injury going forward. So there may be a shakeup there. And, so maybe a good time for them to do this and bring in an athlete like Jody Threat. So I know she's a big name. I know a lot of people know her. And like Jeff marked out, James Chadwick did. There were many other people who were very, very impressed and happy to see her coming into Impact Wrestling. So another addition to an already filled knockouts division, Jeff. And you know a bit more about Jody than I did, but I did go back and watch some videos, and I'm pretty excited to have her in there.
Yeah, me too, man. I'm excited to have her in Impact in a just, I mean, from top to bottom, the knockouts division is just loaded with talent. Is tremendous. And we did this exercise the other night in the watch along where we were trying to name 6 to 10 different knockouts who you could make a legitimate argument for going after the knockouts title and winning that title. So it's just amazing, and she just adds a lot more depth to it. I feel like with losing Taya, this makes a lot of sense. She can do. I mean, there's a lot of stuff she can do. I can rant and rave about her for a while, but I don't want to hold up the show. Did you get a chance to go see anything on YouTube yet, Joe?
I did. I watched that series of videos. James Chadwick sent me a YouTube video where it's just a whole bunch of highlights from her matches.
Yeah.
So very, very impressive. Definitely a threat. And Tobin mentioned, how do you feel about Jody Threat in the Coven?
The other night? Yep.
You did? Jeff mention that? Yeah. Jeff mentioned that. I also mentioned him and Masha as a tag team.
Mm-hmm.
That would be amazing too. And remember, Masha
Mm-hmm.
came from Indies as well. So yeah, man, absolutely. They just find this talent for their knockouts division, and it's it's very, very exciting. So lose a star, gain a star, says James. Yeah, it's awesome. So many people where Conrad mentioned it. Everybody kind of a little bit down, obviously, because Josh Alexander, the champion of Impact Wrestling for the longest reigning champion of Impact, then had to drop the title because of a torn pectoral muscle. And then Mickey came out and said that she was injured too, really the same day with a broken rib. So, you lose two people that are the champions in your promotion. It's not easy for anyone. And I don't remember ever seeing that in any promotion. And that's tough to take. But all they did was they go out and put on a killer pay-per-view a couple nights ago, and now they're signing Jody Threat. So very cool, and Impact moves on, and I think this is a great signing for them. And already, like I said, their knockouts division's loaded. I say this all the time. I'd put them up against any other promotion. Hey, Jesse Calynn, how are you? If anybody else joined, I think Damian Robinson I saw in there. Tobin, I think, just joined. Welcome to Tobin. Barry Monkey from Twitch. Tony's Dark Nightmare said the Impact's Women Division is fire. It is. I'd put it up against anyone. I've said that time and time again. All right, Jeff, what's next?
All right, up next, man. We just talked about this, but the Impact champs sidelined with injuries, and the day of a pay-per-view, you've got this just enormous amount of momentum that you've built over the last several months.
Yep.
Going back to the end of last year, going into this year, they haven't missed at all with any of their shows, in my opinion. Maybe one show was a little bit, I don't even say subpar because it wasn't even that, but maybe one show since maybe November of last year that you can point to. But yeah, this hurt the other day. So
a bit of a black cloud over the pay-per-view on Friday. When I woke up in the morning, I saw the Josh thing, I saw the Mickey thing first. We have them both followed in Insiders, but I saw Mickey's thing first saying that she was going to have to address the crowd on the state of her title because she got injured. And then a little bit later on, someone passed along the word to me that Josh was injured. I'm like, what? And I had to go and read. And of course, Impact tapes their shows. So this happened, prior to Friday or prior to Thursday. But, and then when I saw Josh's, and of course, Josh's was more serious. He had to have an operation actually the day of sacrifice. The biggest thing I have to say about this is, well, first of all, number one, good for Impact because they put on a hell of a show. Josh even reached out and said after his surgery and said how great it was and how wonderful, what a great job they did. And Mickey's injury, broken rib, not as severe, but still you can't wrestle with it. We'll see what's going to happen with her, whether she has to relinquish or not, or whether she can make it to that next pay-per-view to defend. But either way, you got to hand it to them because, again, I've never seen that happen. I've never, ever seen that happen with any wrestling promotion where they lost their champion and their women's champion basically all in the same day.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. And normally that would kill anybody. I mean, imagine, think about it. Could you imagine if WWE lost Roman Reigns and Bianca Belair, both to injuries where Roman would have been out for a year and Bianca may have been out for 3 months? It's insane to think about it. Could you imagine what that would have done to the Bloodline storyline and everything? It would have just destroyed everything. And the guy I have to feel sorry for as well, and Jeff mentioned this, is Steve Maclin. Maclin was coming up, to challenge Josh Alexander for that title. Maclin was working so hard to get that match with Josh. It was right around the corner. We don't know what was going to happen there. Maclin could have been the champ either way. but he was going to wrestle for that title, and you kind of have to feel for him. He's still going to get his opportunity, but it's not against the reigning champion anymore. It's against Kushida, who, while he's a great wrestler and a threat, no doubt, but it's not what Macklin had envisioned either. So it affects a lot of people, and God, it affects a company. And the fact that they can overcome that and still have an amazing show says something about Impact. Scott D'Amore shows up at the pay-per-view, which was awesome. So yeah, just they rallied together. This is one of the reasons why I love that show. They rallied together, they overcame, and they're moving on the best that they can, Jeff.
Yeah, I mean, this entire thing is, I said this on Friday, but you could tell that the other folks there felt the pressure and the need to pull off a great event. And you could sense that. I could sense that from the matches, the way that the matches went, because let's not forget about the card and the matches that were on there in the moments. I mean, if it tells you anything, Scott D'Amore hit a freaking Canadian destroyer. I mean, it's not like he just came out there and just, high five people and, and shook hands and kissed babies. I mean, he hit a destroyer. So that tells Tasha Steelz came back.
Yes.
I mean, it was great. They pulled all the right strings on Friday night. So yeah, I feel so bad for Josh. I feel so bad for Mickey.
Yep.
And for someone like Steve Macklin, who Impact has been building as this heel force that could rival Josh's face run that he's been on. You build that heel up all the way, and the perfect way to pay that off is to have the heel go over the face in the face's hometown. And that's what was set up. That's the story that was set up until this. And Macklin even tweeted out something to that effect after the fact. Kind of like, it's not the person I thought I was going to go against and beat, but the result is going to be the same, kind of still trying to hype it up, which, he should. And we're still going to get a heck of a match.
Oh, yeah.
Macklin and Kushida. I mean, that's a great match.
Yep.
I know it's not Josh and Macklin, but it's pretty darn good. So I like what Impact did, and it gave us some different people that may be stepping up a little bit more over the next several months while Josh is out. And we're seeing the timing of Jody being brought in via vignettes, where the timing of that happening on that day. And I know a lot of it had to do with the fact that she's Canadian, but it's, they're giving other people opportunities in the face of adversity. And I thought what they did was brilliant on Friday night. And I just wish speedy recoveries to Josh and Mickey.
Yeah, that's the most important thing, because for as bad as we feel, they're feeling 10 times worse. Josh definitely didn't want his longest reign of any Impact champion coming to an end this way. And Mickey, after fighting all the comers that came after her, and winning that title back from Jordynne Grace, and having that what could be her last run as a champion, certainly didn't envision getting an injury and having to drop the belt that way. So yeah, you really have to feel for both of them, and they're both keeping their heads up. Josh is tweeting out saying he's going to come back better and stronger, and Mickey saying similar things, but yeah, it's tough. Yeah, Josh is he relinquished it, Mark. Yes. There's a title match coming up between Macklin and Kushida, who was going to be Josh's challenger at Multiverse on Thursday. So that's the way they determined that. But yes, he had to relinquish. Mickey doesn't know yet. There's going to be what is it? Jordynne Grace and who is this?
Jordynne Grace and the winner of the four-way match at the
Yes.
Multiverse.
Yes.
And I forget who's. I
Deonna
know.
Purrazzo. Is Masha? I can't remember either.
I think Deanna, Masha, Giselle, and I'm blanking on the fourth.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't really
Someone in the
remember
chat let us know.
Yeah. So the winner of that is going to take on Jordan Grace, and then if Mickey can go, it's going to be three-way, a three-way battle basically for the title. If she can't, then she has to relinquish, and then it's going to be Jordan versus the winner of that four-way. So yeah. But anyway, yeah, kudos to Impact for overcoming. It's not easy, and I don't think any other company would have had an easy time doing that. Very, very, very difficult thing to do. So, all right, man. What's next?
All right. Well, it's that time of the show, Joe.
Oh boy, you are all gonna love this.
Oh man, I'm sitting here in my mind saying, can I say any of this without going on a profanity-laced tirade? And I think I can. I think I've worked it out in my head enough where I'm not gonna curse every other word. So I think I'm okay. I think we're okay.
Jeff's got a grievance. I will just tell you, give you a little bit of a hint. If you watch that Rhea Ripley airport video, you're gonna have a bit of an insight on what this is gonna be all about. So, Jeff, hit that wonderful intro. It's time for the airing of grievances.
All right, here we go.
The airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. Now you're gonna hear about.
All right.
Now you're gonna hear them, and you're gonna hear this big time. Jeff, you got the floor, my friend. It's all you.
All right, man. So my grievance this week is for you entitled Bradish spoiled behind. I almost did it. I had the beat button ready. You spoiled behind people who just have to know everything and have to be everywhere and harass people. And I get it. They're they're your fave maybe, or maybe they're just a celebrity and it'd be cool to have a moment where you snap a picture or get an autograph or whatever. I get it. But these people are people just like us. They are tired. They're on the road all the time attempting to entertain us. And we should have the respect to give them their space because guess what? They don't get it at all. Period. They're famous everywhere they go. They have a camera in their face. They have to be on all the time because they have a camera. They can't say anything the wrong way because then a news site is going to pick it up and take the quote and spin it out of context or whatever the case may be. They have to look a certain way because if they don't look a certain way, then someone's going to talk about the way that they look and they're not looking good or they're disheveled or God forbid some of the disgusting things that people say about female wrestlers. And you don't need to bombard these folks. Give them their space. Please respect them. If they truly are your favorite, find other ways, find other means. And I get it with WWE. They don't do the meet and greets and stuff like that. So it's more difficult. I get it. I understand. But don't just shove a camera in someone's face. Ask them if it's okay with them. Can I pull out my phone and take a picture? Instead of just shoving it in their face and being entitled to the point where you think they owe you that and they have to sign something for you or they have to take a picture for you because they don't. If they're kind enough to do so, then yes, that's fine. But ask first instead of just assuming that they just owe you this because you're some entitled brat. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is the people's need to know every single bit of information about what these people are doing. Jody just said something up here in the chat, and I just want to bring the comment on screen because I think it's relevant. Bray can't fart without it making news. I mean, whatever the man is dealing with right now is between him, his employer, and his family. That's who needs to know what's going on. It would be nice to know what's going on because we all care. But it's not a necessity that we know, that we have to know just because. Just because it's messing up my view of what the storyline needs to be. Screw a storyline. Screw a storyline. It's about these people's health and well-being. Forget a WrestleMania build. It's about this man's health and well-being. Same thing with Miss Bliss. Everybody was freaking out. Oh, she needs to be on WrestleMania. She needs to be here. What about what she's dealing with in her personal life? Get over your freaking self. And think about these people, because they're people too. They're not a robot. They're not a widget. They're not some property of yours. They're not a game console. They're human beings. Treat them as such. Stop being an entitled jerk. I'm done.
There you go. I'll share a little story that goes kind of hand in hand with what Jeff's talking about. I've met celebrities in my life. I have. For those of you who know Jack Palance, I've met him. Wasn't a very nice individual, rest his soul. But I've met some people throughout my life. I met some rock stars. I've met some wrestlers. I've met some. But there was this story that happened close to the town that I work in. In the town I work in. And all of you, I'm sure a lot of you know Stranger Things. The actor who plays Dustin, his name's Gaten Matarazzo. So Dustin from Stranger Things. Now this article appeared in a newspaper days later after it happened. He went to a restaurant in our area, to a Cracker Barrel, that he ended up there. And which is crazy, a little crap town like where we live. And he ends up going to a restaurant there. And, I'm not even sure why he was even there. A lot of people ask, oh my God, what is it, when they read the article. But what happened here was he was eating dinner. And the waitress who waited on him obviously knew who he was. People see him now. They know who this kid is, right? She knew who he was. She went over to him and she took their order. And him and his girlfriend, I guess, were there. She took their order, went to the back, did everything that she would normally do. She did not tell anybody in the back. She did not tell any cooks, anybody else. She did not, I don't know if anybody in the restaurant noticed or anything like that. But basically what happened was everything went smooth. She brought them their dinner and everything like that. They ate when she came back to give them their check. She had said to the actor, she said to Gaten that, oh my gosh, I know who you are. I love you in Stranger Things. I think you're amazing, blah, blah, blah. And what he did was he thanked her and he said, I got to say, thank you so much for not bringing attention, for just getting us our meal. And then afterwards, he ended up taking pictures with her and doing like a lot of things. So that's what Jeff is trying to say. These people are people, right? And no matter what kind of spotlight they are in, no matter who they are, rock stars, whether they're movie stars, whether they're wrestlers, whether they're sports players, whatever the case might be, they have their own lives that they deal with every single day that we are not privy to, nor should we be. Okay? I don't care how many tickets you buy to go see an event. I don't care how many times you watch them in a movie, how many times you watch them on TV, how many, listen, there a lot of times they provide opportunities to go see them.
Mm-hmm.
They have meet and greets. They have autograph signings. If you want that so badly, then go buy one of them and go see that person. That is the proper way of how you meet them. If you happen to meet them out somewhere, cool, like that person did who shared the tweet with, or the picture with Bray. If you happen to run into him, I'm sure the guy's going to be nice, like Jody mentioned in the chat. He's going to turn around and say, "Hey, cool, you want to take a picture?" But again, that thing with Rhea was disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
All there were a bunch of men around her, and I'm going to bet you that most of those people around her, because they were shoving items in her face. One of them had a pop or one of the pop vinyls. One of them had something. I would care to bet, because these people are such slime balls that they find out what flights these people are on somehow, and they wait there. And I would venture to guess that they were not all just fans. They were people who were vendors who are going to get that crap signed to sell it, which makes them even bigger slime balls. Because not only are they bothering these people on their personal time, but they're bothering them for their personal gain, which makes you an even bigger dirtbag, in my opinion. So I'm sorry, but I know Rhea went off, and you should have seen the some of the replies she got.
It's ridiculous, man. The entitlement of some of these people.
Oh my God. Like the people that were responding to her post. How could you say something like this? We are your fans. Screw you. You have no right. All that woman wanted to do, that was after the Rumble. She's probably very tired, had to get on a nighttime flight or whatever that was, had to jump a plane and go right to her next destination, because that's how wrestlers live. They don't get time in between. They have to get on a plane and jump to the next town. And she looked exhausted. And there she is and where it really got me in that video was when she signed the last person, right? And she put she looked so tired, and she put her face down and half smiled for this last person that she signed. And then afterwards she said, "Is it okay if I leave now?"
Yeah.
What? WTF? Like, seriously? Is it okay if I leave? It's ridiculous. But like Jeff said, who the hell are you to think you're entitled to just stop these people because they are entertainers?
Yep.
It's ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Just because they live a character out in the public eye doesn't mean that you're entitled 24/7 access to them.
Right.
It doesn't mean that they belong to you.
Mm-hmm.
They are a person. They get tired. They have emotions. They need rest. But the most important thing is they need respect.
Right.
My recent experience, a random encounter with Antonio Brown. People were just running up to him, shoving cameras in his face, shoving stuff in his face for him to sign. When my son and I went up to him, like, we stood back for a minute, and we went up to him and said, "Is it okay if we take a picture with you? Can my son take a picture with you?" He was cool. Had that not happened, he wouldn't have gone into his pocket and pulled out his Super Bowl ring to put it on my son's finger. The moral of the story is, if you give respect, you will get respect in return.
Yep.
And a lot of times, these celebrities, these athletes, they just want a little bit of respect. They want to live as normal of a life as they can live, given the state of our society and how technology works and all of that. Because 20, 30 years ago is different. You don't have everyone with a smartphone and the ability to do, to upload it to millions of people in a matter of seconds. You don't have that. So it's different now for athletes and celebrities than it was before. So just give a little bit of respect, and you don't know what you'll get in return, but I guarantee you'll probably like it better than just shoving something in their face and being a jerk to them.
Yep. Yeah, and this is why it's so different. It's so different today. And this is why so many of these wrestlers can't stand the dirt sheets, because they invade their privacy. It's none of their business. This whole thing, this whole ordeal with Bray was none of anyone's business.
Nope.
None of anybody's business. It happens. Like Jeff said early, it's between him, his family, and his employer. Boof, done. Nobody has a right, and nobody needs to know. It does not matter what happens. It is his business and no one else's. So, yeah, absolutely. Great piece. And yeah, I was infuriated. I didn't see that, and I was like, oh my God. And when somebody posted that video, it was horrible, man. If you guys ever flew, the flying process, unless you're going first class, it's not necessarily wonderful. It's a lot of nerves. It's a lot of getting to somewhere on time. It's a lot of missed flights with weather delays and this and that and the other thing. And you're not going to probably get much sleep, because it's not very easy to sleep on a plane, again, unless you're paying first class. And that is super expensive. And so it's not pleasant.
Not to mention if you're flying from coast to coast or from time zone.
Right.
So flying from a west time zone to an east or vice versa.
Yep.
I mean, not to mention that part of the travel either. So, man.
Yeah, it is not pleasant most of the time. And so, for her to look wiped out like that, it's just, and there's people there, oh, congrats on your win at Rumble and going to Mania, huh? That's the last thing she wants to talk about. She just wants to get on her flight. I mean, put yourself in their shoes. Sometimes that's what you have to do. Just put yourself in their shoes. Bray Wyatt has a family, guys. He has a wife and children. That's his important thing. That's his most important thing. So if whatever illness he had, whatever he had, his family had, that's what he's concerned about. Not concerned about getting back and pacifying the dirt sheets or getting back and pacifying the people that need to know. It doesn't matter. So great stuff. We can't get timed out unless Joe and Jeff do it. The type of fans make these type of fans make good ones look bad. Only people that need to know is his family doesn't owe us crap. I felt bad for Ray for people disrespecting his personal space. Flying coach is terrible no matter where you go. I was hesitant to ask Max for a pic on my flight because he slept the whole time. But when we got off the plane, he asked me if I had a phone charger I could borrow for 5 or 10 minutes. So see, there you go. Sometimes it works out where that stuff can happen. And like I said, with the actor and the waitress in the restaurant, she backed off. She could have made a big fuss and be like, oh my God, and told everybody in that kitchen, the kid from Stranger Things is out here. And they would have all been coming out. They would have all been looking instead of back there making his dinner.
Yep.
And so
it would have been like this.
Yep. They would have all had their phones and everybody would have been taking pictures. People from across the restaurant would have gone, oh my God, what's going on? And everybody would have made a line. So she did the right thing, and look what happened with her. And it got her recognition. She was in the local newspaper about it. She was, so hey, it worked out. It worked out. Derek, what I gave it to him and didn't even mention I was a fan until I mentioned the show from last night. He thanked me for being low key and then took a pic. He asked me if I wanted a picture. See?
There you go.
Yep.
Perfect example.
Yep. And I locked up. There we go. I'm back. Perfect example.
Mm-hmm.
Give respect and you'll get respect.
Mm-hmm.
Very simple. Very simple. All right, we're moving on. What's
moving
up?
We're gonna skip the. I know people like to see us debate sometimes. We're
gonna skip it because of the predictions.
But we're gonna go from a grievance to favorite moments of the week.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go into a little bit of favorites. You guys always play along with this, so please do so. We're going to go 3, 2, 1. So make sure you start with 3, you go to 2 when we do, and you go to 1 when we do. Let us know what your favorite moments of this week were in wrestling. Andrew Stevens, hello to you. How are you? Brian, I switched from Twitter to YouTube. There you go. Make sure you sub to the channel if you didn't do so already. We're getting close. We're moving on slowly to $4,000.
Yeah.
So
moving close.
Yeah, so that would be awesome. So make sure you subscribe if you have not done so already. But we're going to go to our favorite moments of this week in wrestling. So, Jeff, what's your number 3?
Oh man, number 3 moments of the week for me, and I'm stalling. Don't judge me. Number 3 moment of the week for me is it's got to be Jody Threat coming to Impact.
Yep.
That's number 3 for me. Didn't expect it. I was pleasantly surprised, as people could see my reaction on the watch along. And yeah, so it was awesome. It was awesome. What's up, Dave, in real life?
Hey, Dave, how are you? Welcome. I am going to go with the return of Tasha Steelz as my number 3.
Hey.
Everybody wondering where and when she's going to be back. Where is Tasha? And again, there's another perfect example. The Dirt Sheets had, she's left Impact Wrestling. She's gone. She hasn't been there in a while. There's another great example of all that garbage that flows out of all the stuff that goes down the toilet. Oh man, somebody needs to get a job doing, like, proving these people wrong, putting down these predictions, saving these things that they say, and then when they're wrong, hold them accountable, post it to the thing, to where, find that tweet. They'll probably take it down, but find the tweet or the post, go back and put down, look, you said this and look what happened. And hold them accountable, because no one does. And you'll find out really how bad they mess up most of the time. But this is another situation with that. Everybody, and Tasha just signed a contract, so it didn't even make any sense.
No.
And Tasha's playing along. She put a thing out there with a capital N and a capital X and a capital T, which I'm sure she's laughing about that. She's like, I'm going to play along with these people a little bit, and I'm going to give into this. But Tasha Steelz showed up. It was an amazing moment, and we're going to finally get that confrontation of her and Savannah Evans, her longtime pretty much bodyguard / tag team partner. So that's going to be amazing. We've been wanting to see that for a long, long time. But the return of Tasha Steelz, what an amazing part of a great pay-per-view on Impact. And I think you're going to see a pattern with me, because I think my moments are all pretty much going to come from that pay-per-view. So that's my number 3. Let me read off some people's number 3s here. We have got Ilja versus JD McDonough, says Alexa Bliss Gamer 0809. Welcome, by the way. LA Knight getting a win finally, says Derek Fleming. Barry Monkey says the busted open match, it defied all expectations of not being terrible. Yes, everybody wrote that off. Everybody said it was going to
bathroom break match, right?
Yeah, man. Everybody said it was going to suck, and look what happened. Look what happened. I got a cheese grater, which I didn't really need. And Jeff got tax. Yeah, we didn't need that, but yes, Edge calling out to the demon in the promo. Oh my God, if what is being rumored is true, Joe's getting his mark out moment, baby. They talked about Gangrel possibly being at WrestleMania if he comes out of that fire with that Brood music and the shades. Joe is going to blow up. My head is going to explode on live camera. I am so fired up about that. I really hope that that's true, because OMG, that's all I have to say. Number 3 for me is Alexander James injuries. Brandon's bringing up. Yeah, I'm sure you probably were part of the crowd that were disappointed by all that. Not necessarily a favorite, but I get you. I know where you're coming from. It's big news. It was something that was really just completely unexpected and out of nowhere. So I get you. The Kook says Camille, Jordan, and Deanna winning the AAA World Cup for Team USA. How about that one? Yeah, I love Camille. Camille's awesome. We don't talk about her enough. Jody Threat coming Impact. Cody's promo, says Jody. Oh my gosh, the bloodline stuff, dude. The Cody Rhodes on fire with Paul Heyman, and the looks of Paul Heyman's face during that promo were classic.
It's so good.
Oh,
it's great stuff, man.
Paul's just standing back with these looks like, and with this like scared look on his face. um, Paul is so good. But that's been tremendous. I don't know what to think about that because when it ends,
Oh,
I'm
I
going to be
know.
so disappointed that it's over. Gone in so long and whole big buildup. Yes, it's going to be an amazing moment, but at the same time, it's going to be just sad that it's coming to an end. And I almost don't want it to, but yeah, so good, man.
Yeah.
They're just unbelievable. Tasha's probably my number 3 as well. Edge calling out Balor for Mania. Rape. Oh, yes. Let's go to
Hey,
2, Jeff. Let's go to 2.
let's go to since we're talking about a long-term story, my number 2 talks about 2 guys that have about 15 years, I think, of history. I wanna say things go back that far. Conrad, help me out if I'm wrong there, but I think these 2 got about 15 years of history, and that's Claudio and Eddie Kingston, and they're gonna face off at Ring of Honor Supercard. And, that's been a long time coming. We didn't get it before. I was devastated, but we're getting it now, and I'm all in. And their war of words, the promo, Joe, I
I
just wanna see these 2 guys tear each other's heads off. That's what I want.
That's just another thing we're gonna need to watch during that weekend. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
2 of the absolute best on the mic. Claudio is just an amazing athlete, and these 2 going at it is gonna be amazing. 15 years of hatred, says James Chadwick. Yeah, absolutely unbelievable. Hugely expected fight between these 2. 15 years in the making is going to be awesome and amazing. My number 2 is basically James Chadwick's number 3. You want to talk about getting a culmination to a long story, when were we going to get it? How far is Dom going to push his father before he hits him? How far is it going to go? He kept walking away, turning the other cheek. I can't do it. Now the family's there. His wife and his daughter. We haven't seen his daughter for a while, but the wife and the daughter are in the audience. And Ray is leaving the arena, and Dominic goes over and he's bad mouthing the mother, saying, "You're a terrible mother." And he tells her to shut up, mom. And that was it. Ray just snapped. Ray comes back down. He sees him. He's like, "What you gonna do, Dad? What you gonna do?" And boom, the shot heard around the world, and down goes Dom onto the floor. He finally did it. The fans marked out. It was an amazing culmination and an amazing moment that people were waiting for. And finally, we get the confirmation that Rey Mysterio and Dom will go at it at WrestleMania. I don't think we've seen the last of this, and a lot of people are saying there could be something that may happen during that Hall of Fame thing. I had said I don't think they'll do it when he's out on the stage. You never know. I don't think they'll do it there. It might be something that might happen backstage, or he might get attacked backstage afterwards. Maybe Dom will do something and just mess up something that he gets backstage. We'll see. But what an anticipated, the shot heard around the world from Rey Mysterio. That's my number 2. Cody standing by, claiming Solo's not yet ready, standing his ground as far as mind games. Edge and Finn. Jacoby says Ray punching Dom finally. Andy Kaufman in the Hall of Fame was a loose cannon before Brian Pillman and kicked down the door for celebrities interacting with wrestling. No doubt inspired a certain VKM in NY. We have number 1, father versus son. Tasha Steele's returning, says Andrew. Andy Kaufman, Hall of Fame. Number 3, Jesse says everything to do with Sheamus, and also learning we're getting the Demon Finn Balor. Yeah, it's huge. I'm telling you, that might be my most, other than the Bloodline stuff, that might be my most anticipated match. Because I can't wait to see. Nobody knows what Finn's going to look like either. Some are saying he might come out in almost like a purple look because of the the faction that he's in. So we're going to see. But yeah, amazing. Amazing. Legendary now that Hollywood David at Mania. Number one Dom getting his butt whooping. Heyman not selling the mic throw from Cody. The punch heard around the world from Ray. Number two, Eddie Kingston and Claudio promo from Ring of Honor. The long-term hate between these two is fire. Edge's promo calling out the demon was so brayish. Ray punching Dominic. Cody Rhodes promo. Otis eating the slice of cucumber. Just made me laugh, and that's all I want from wrestling. See, it's okay. It's all good, man. Cody and Bloodline promo from Raw. Tasha returning. Omega versus Vikingo on Dynamite. Yeah, I heard amazing things about that. I have to watch that because I've heard so many people tell me how good that was. I have to check that out for sure. Ray Mysterio and Dom. Number two, Ray punching Dom's lights out. Predictions, Lionheart. We are getting there. We are getting there. That's coming soon. The look on Dom's face when Ray finally fought back. Let's see. Am I missing anybody else? Says Ray and Dom, said Jacoby. Ray punching Dom. Getting down there. I think I got everybody's number twos. Ray slapping Dom. Kenny Vikingo. Okay. Yeah, I think we got everybody's number twos. All right. Number one. What's your number one, Jeff?
All right. So because it's our show, Joe, I can do this, right?
You can.
All right. I have a three-way tie for number one. So three-way tie for number one in no particular order. I am going to start with Impact Sacrifice, and just shout out all of the wrestlers, the producers, everyone involved with Impact Sacrifice. You did a tremendous job in the face of adversity. I am happy to be a fan of Impact Wrestling. Seeing something like that when so many people's hopes were dashed that day, when so many people were down, honestly, going into the evening, not knowing what to expect, and getting that type of show, that type of event was just tremendous. The second one for me is Ray finally putting that spoiled brat entitled. You know what? You know why I don't like Dom? Dom represents the entitled, spoiled little brat that on social media.
Wow. I wonder if they might be writing some of that on purpose.
Makes you wonder, huh? Makes you wonder.
How about that?
Makes you wonder. That's why we don't like him, because he's that representation of that Twitter troll,
right?
That just keeps commenting and commenting and commenting when their opinion isn't necessary. Don't need your chatter, buddy. Ray putting him down with a nice stiff shot, and not of the alcohol variety. But you know, honestly, when it comes to wrestling storylines, especially now, I try to look at the interest in the story and if it's working by watching my son do it. Watching my son watch a story. If my son if he's into it immediately, I know it's good. If he's like, then I know it's something that they need to do a little bit of work on. But if I'm watching him and he's all into it, because he asked me before we even turned SmackDown on, is Ray gonna spank Dom? Is he gonna put him in his place? And I said, buddy, I hope so. It's got to come at some point. And then when he saw Dom yelling at his mother, he says, "Oh, Ray better come out here now and get him, Daddy." I said, "Yeah, buddy, he better." And then we finally saw him come down there, and my son's cheering for Ray, and I'm joking with him, and I'm like, "Hey, now," I was like, "So does that mean that if you were to get out of line?" And he was like, "Daddy, I'm not going to get out of line like that. I'm not going to act like that." So, but no, just seeing him light up when Ray did that, and he was like, "Good, he needed to do that because Dom was getting on my nerves," and I was like, "Yeah, he's getting on mine too." Um, so yeah, it was really, yeah, it was really cool to see that moment, and a lot of these stories now. And I'll tell you, my kid, he is torn when it comes to Cody and Roman.
Ooh.
He does not know who to go for. He is torn because those are his two favorites. So, so he's torn on that one. So, dad might feel the same way in that one. So my third number one is Kenny Omega's match. I mean, oh my gosh, if you haven't had a chance to go see, and you know what, to all the people that are like, who's Vikingo and who is this guy and why this and why that? You know what? Google and YouTube work very well if you don't know a wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
Stop being a jerk and use YouTube, because you use YouTube to figure out how to change a light bulb in a tricky piece of product that you bought because somebody else has done it, and you watch YouTube for everything else. Go watch it to learn who a wrestler is. Do some education. You entitled. Never mind. Let me stop. So anyway, anyway, go put some respect on that man's name, learn who he is, and go watch that match from Dynamite last week because it was tremendous. There are so many match of the year candidates, and we haven't even hit April yet.
Crazy, right?
Crazy. So
it's been a good year of wrestling so far, and like Jeff said, we're not even at the end of March. Insane, absolutely insane. My number ones. When a 48-year-old man, who I'm 5 years older than, by the way, can come down into the ring during a busted open match against a guy who is way bigger than him, hit a freaking Canadian destroyer on that dude and light up the crowd, which was, by the way, an impressive crowd for Impact Wrestling. Man, what a moment that was for Scott D'Amore. First of all, he's been gone for a while. He hasn't been on the show. Santino Marella has taken over for him and done a good job. But Scott comes back with a vengeance and hits a freaking Canadian destroyer on Bully Ray. Or I'm sorry, it wasn't on Bully Ray. It was one of the goons. My bad. Bully Ray was outside the ring watching him do it. But what an amazing moment for Scott D'Amore. And that was totally awesome. That is one of my number ones. Another number one for me. Well, you all know that I'm a big believer in Joe Hendry. And Joe Hendry kept his title at that pay-per-view, his digital media championship, beating that lousy heel Brian Myers and retaining. So I believe in Joe Hendry, one of my favorite wrestlers in Impact Wrestling. Whenever he wins, it's a great night, and Joe Hendry won in what was a great match, by the way.
It really was
a tremendous match between those two. There were a lot of times where I thought he was going to lose that match. And Brian Myers is awesome, man. Don't sleep on Myers, man. He is a great wrestler. So amazing win there for that. And of course, my number one is also my third one. Number one is the Bloodline storyline. It's really legit. One of the only things that keeps me on my seat, on the edge of my seat, watching wrestling. And just waiting on what they're going to say and what they're going to do and everything that goes on. And now that whole confrontation that Cody has going with Solo Sikoa. I mean, is this a future build? Is this going to be something that they're already building on for when Cody takes the title off of Roman, if indeed he does?
Stick around for my prediction for this match.
Man, like
I got some future booking for your yeah.
I mean, is that where this is going to go? And are they already setting this up? It's brilliant. The whole thing has been brilliant. The build up to Sammy, I saw a lot of you voted for that. Sammy and KO's, the big hug when the crowd went bananas. Something is huge when WWE will show the crowd cheering after it happens. The build up to that. Let me tell you something, guys. And I've said this before. I said this on my Monday video or Tuesday videos that I do as well. You are not probably in your lifetime going to see another storyline done like this. You just won't. They are once in probably a lifetime / generation, going as long as this had and as good as it has been, without getting stale, without getting everybody saying, oh my God, let's move past this already. We've got to go along. This has been absolutely brilliant. And it's going to culminate at WrestleMania. And like I said, I'm going to be sad when it goes, because it keeps me watching those two shows. Even if I don't maybe necessarily think the show is all that good, maybe there's some things I like, some things not so much, but I am always tuned in for the Bloodline stuff, because it's absolutely brilliant. Andrew Stevens, Damien and I talked earlier and brought up the idea of asking how we can become insiders too. Andrew, what do you mean? Elaborate.
Email us, Andrew.
Yeah, email us
and tell us what you're thinking.
Yeah, it's insiderswrestlingpod@gmail.com. Email us whatever idea it is. I'd like to know what you're talking about. Jeff may be TV 14, but I'm TV 18, says James Chadwick.
James Chadwick is TVMA viewer.
TVMA, yes.
Viewer discretion is advised.
Yes, that ominous voice. Viewer discretion is advised. Remember that on HBO, Jeff, and then you get that.
Yes.
That was awesome. It was one of the things I most looked forward to when I was a kid, because I knew I was going to watch something I wasn't supposed to be watching.
Wasn't supposed to watch. That's right. You're going to hear some curse words in it.
Yep.
Stuff
Or
maybe you go back and say at school.
Yes. Curse words, blood, horror. The occasional little bit of maybe some body parts you weren't supposed to see. Just saying. Just saying. All right. That said, that is our top 3 moments of the week. It was a fun week in wrestling. A lot of fun stuff going on, in spite of some stuff that was a little bit not so much fun. But it was a good week. So we hope you had a good week, and we hope you had some good memories from this past week of wrestling too. We're moving on. We're going to what to watch for, because boy, oh boy, we have a lot of what to watch for this week,
wow. Jeff. Don't we? Don't we ever have a lot to discuss here? So we'll start with this one. Thursday night, Multiverse United, starting at 11 p.m. Eastern. And you know what? Darn it. Us Americans have no right to gripe, because our friends across the pond have to be up at all hours of the night. All hours of the night. So you know what? We get to live in their world for once.
We do.
And darn it, I know I just said we don't have a right to complain. I'm going to complain. I'm going to complain. I want to speak to the manager, whoever the manager is, and I need a lot of caffeine. So anyway, Multiverse United kicks off on Thursday night.
I put out 2 polls. Remember, we were talking to the people in Impact about this. We said we're going to put a poll on Twitter. We're going to put a poll on YouTube. And I'm sitting there watching these polls, and I have to admit, I'm thinking to myself, I'm not sure how I want this vote to go. And I'm looking a little bit every day before the polls end, and I'm seeing the one on Twitter is like 48 to 47. I'm like, wow, that's really close. And then I go over to the YouTube one, and it's like 70 to 30 in favor. And I'm like, oh, okay. But yes, we are doing this show, and not only this, which starts at 11, and like I said, it's going to go to 2 a.m., but we have a show before this as well, a live Impact Wrestling that they just announced, the first ever done on Access TV live show. As we know, Impact stuff is taped, so we're going to start off that night at 7:45, go to 10. We're going to have to take a little break for a power nap or a whole bunch of Red Bull, and then we're going to come back at 11 o'clock, probably 10:45, start at 11, and go until whenever Multiverse is over. that is our first night of this coming week after Abby's, of course, tomorrow, and the start of what's going to be an insane weekend. So Multiverse United is going to be an amazing pay-per-view. Those of you who don't know, this is Impact Wrestling, and you can see New Japan up there as well. They are going to have some amazing matches here that you would not necessarily see before, and some athletes you may have not seen before. So this is going to be awesome, and so much awesome wrestling that what a way to start off WrestleMania weekend. It's going to be great. I hope. And now listen, guys, you voted, so we better see you there. Well, I'm just warning you right now. You're gonna be on my naughty list if you don't show. You better be there and go through the pain with us of staying up until 3 in the morning or 2 in the morning. I mean, you people overseas are excused because it's what?
Yes.
8. Yeah, you're excused. I totally understand that. You've got to sleep at some point. But yes, you better show up. But this is the first in a week of wrestling that is going to be awesome. So Multiverse United, the first thing on our what to watch for list. Come out and join us. We'll be tired, but we'll be here.
Me and Joe might have to play this.
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody.
You don't show up.
All righty. Moving on.
NXT Stand to Deliver, Joe.
NXT has a pay-per-view too. Of course, go over to Tazzy's channel for this one. Tazzy will be doing the watch along for Stand and Deliver for NXT. I haven't been able to watch NXT. My glut of shows that I watched during the springtime started coming on. All these superhero shows that I watched, the Gotham Knights one that just started, Superman and Lois. I watch all this stuff, and I haven't been able to catch up to NXT. I've tried to get little glimpses and bits and pieces of it, but this is always a weekend for them as well to spotlight their athletes. Of course, this happens in the app. Was it Saturday afternoon, Jeff? Yeah, Saturday afternoon. Of course, Tazzy will be doing this, so make sure you go and check his channel out for NXT Stand and Deliver. What are some of the big matches for this? Before I have to
Carmelo and Braun Breaker.
Yep,
that's right. Really looking forward to that one.
Yep.
This 4-way with Wesley and Dragon Lee and who else is in it for my NXT watchers? There are some really tremendous matches though. I'm definitely gonna be watching. Yeah, this is going to be great. I can't wait for this.
I'm going to take a quick look at this card matches. We've got Johnny Gargano. Johnny Gargano's been in NXT versus Grayson Waller. Unsanctioned. So unsanctioned match. You don't get those very often. Like Jeff said, Carmelo Hayes versus Braun Breaker. Zoe Stark versus Gigi Dolan versus Tiffany Stratton versus Lyra Valkyra versus Indy Hartwell. That's a ladder match for the NXT Women's Championship.
Yes, that's going to be great.
Awesome. Fallon Henley and Kiana James with Josh Briggs and Brooks Jensen versus Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. That's for the NXT Women's Tag Team titles. Wesley, that Jeff mentioned, versus Dragon Lee versus JD McDonough versus Ilja Dragunov and Axiom. Fatal 5-way for the North American Championship. You've got Gallus, which is Mark Coffey and Wolfgang versus the Creed brothers. Brutus Creed and Julius Creed with Ivy Nile versus the D'Angelo family. Tony D'Angelo and Channing Stacks Lorenzo. Triple threat tag team match for the NXT Tag Team Championships. And then you've got an 8-person mixed tag. Chase University. You've got Tyler Bate versus Schism, which is Joe Gacy, Jagger Reed, Rip Fowler, and Ava. That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable pay-per-view. So make sure you check that out as well. That, again, like I said, will be on Tazzy channel. So make sure you check that out for the times and stuff like that for that to happen. So that's just another one we've got coming up. What else?
Ring of Honor Supercard, Joe. Look that one up real quick.
When is Ring of Honor Supercard? What date?
Friday, March 31st.
Oh my God, how much is happening on Friday? What time is that at?
I can tell you that I'm going to be up late watching that one. I'm going to watch that one.
When does this start? Because is this going on at the same time as SmackDown?
I think so.
Oh my
I don't
gosh.
even know but it's gonna be.
Here's some of the matches on this one: Lucha Brothers, Penta El Zero, and Rey Fenix versus Top Flight, Dante Martin and Darius Martin versus the Kingdom, which is Matt Taven and Mike Bennett, who were on Impact, versus Aussie Open, who are amazing, versus La Fascion, I can't say this, Ingobernable, Rush and Dralistico, for the ROH World Tag Team Championship. The Embassy, which is Brian Cage, Khan, and Toa Leona, with Prince Nana versus AR Fox, Blake Christian, and Metalik. That's a 6-man tag team match for the ROH World 6-man Tag Team Championships. Samoa Joe versus Mark Briscoe for the World Television Championship. Athena, we all know her, versus Yuka Sakazaki. That is for the Women's World Championship. Wheeler Yuta versus Katsuyori Shibata. That is pure wrestling match. So the pure rules fall for that. The pure matches are amazing. That's going to be awesome. El Hijo de Vikingo versus Commander. That's a singles match for the AAA Mega Championship. And Claudio Castagnetto, we mentioned this, Claudio versus Eddie Kingston for the World Championship. So a stacked card for that as well. So much going on Friday. James Chadwick may not be able to have it on all of his screens. Just amazing. What else?
And then obviously we haven't even gotten to this yet, but
oh my God.
as if Thursday and Friday aren't enough, and then in the afternoon on Saturday, then you got this
SmackDown Go Home show for us Friday night, along with the Hall of Fame watch along, and then it all culminates on the weekend, not including all of the indie shows that are out there too.
Like
but the collective, just so much. WrestleMania night 1, WrestleMania night 2. We'll be here for both. I'll sleep when I'm dead. What an amazing weekend as we go back to what we said at the beginning of the show for wrestling fans. It's absolutely amazing. Good Lord, there's so much wrestling next weekend. We're getting so spoiled this week.
Can I say this real quick?
Yeah, dude.
Okay. If you're the person that this week you're like, I can't find anything, there's nothing good on,
don't do it.
You know that comment that I made about entitled people? You are one of those people. You are the problem. If you can't find something this week to enjoy and not go online and gripe about, you are part of the problem. Look yourself in the mirror and handle that. Go to therapy. Therapy is great. I go to therapy. It's wonderful. It helps you out.
Don't be that person.
Don't be that person.
Just don't
be that jerk.
Don't do it. Just don't do it. The Raw after Mania, there will be an Abby's window before that, because if something happens with Bray and then we go, that's Tazzy does the Raws, so that'll be on Tazzy's channel as well. We'll see. I might pop in there that night and join him because that Raw is usually huge. So we'll see how that goes. But what a weekend! What a weekend! Unbelievable. WrestleMania on April Fool's Day. What could go wrong? All right. That was what to watch for. And there is plenty. And like Jeff said, don't be that guy or girl. All right.
Don't be that entitled, spoiled brat that you're like, oh, there's nothing good on this week. No, that's you being an idiot. That's you being ridiculous. You jerk. You freaking jerk.
Oh my God. Wasn't there like what was that? You just reminded me of remember those, who were those guys that used to make prank calls and they would do the jerky, but was it the jerky voice? They would say something like that, freaking jerk.
You freaking jerk. You freaking jerk.
That's what that reminded me of. Like, oh my God, that's hilarious. All right, guys, we're at the point in the show where we're going to do some predictions. It's WrestleMania prediction time, and I do believe Jody is going to join us.
Yeah, I just sent the invite over, so hopefully she'll be able to pop on here in a second.
All right, well, there you go. We'll give it a minute or so, and
But what we can say is that just in case you don't know this, The Miz is hosting
The Hollywood A-lister himself is
himself.
hosting WrestleMania in Hollywood. Go figure. The Miz is hosting. You can probably bet he's probably going to get abused at some point in time by someone, because that's just what happens to The Miz in most cases. So, but I mean, what better choice than to have the A-lister be the host of the WrestleMania that is coming from Hollywood. So absolutely. Look what you did, you little jerk. Home Alone.
Look what you did, you little jerk.
Jody has joined us for prediction time. So
Chris is here with me too.
Chris is there too. So we are joined by the Gillies for the predictions for WrestleMania. So we
Gavin with the Gillies.
There you go.
By the way, Jeff, Chris was just singing your praises.
Oh,
I like
thank
this
you.
version of Jeff, dude. You rock. Don't take no shit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this version of Jeff is going to show up more often because people need to hear it. So. Tired of beating around the bush. Screw it. I don't care about people's feelings right now. They just need to hear the truth.
This is Take No Prisoners, Jeff.
Yeah.
That's awesome. There you go. All right, guys, here we go. You can play along with us in the chat. Let us know who you are choosing to go. And this is what we're starting off the show with. It is the man himself, hustle, loyalty, and respect, John Cena, going up against everyone's favorite, Austin Theory for the United States Championship match. Right off the bat, the choices are tough here. Who's everybody going with? And let's start with the guests. Let's start with Jody. Jody and Chris. Who wins this match?
I think Theory wins it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Theory. For one, I don't see them putting a belt on Cena. That just doesn't make. He's not around enough anymore to do that. And plus, I really think they're trying to build Theory up.
Yeah. I think he's going to put him over.
Sounds very logical. Some people need to be slapped with reality, says James Chadwick. Austin Theory, A-Town down. Theory retains. Alexa Bliss Gamers going with John Cena. Austin Theory.
Harper will be happy if Austin Theory wins.
Yeah.
I don't think that. Yeah. Sean says Austin Theory. My pick, as much as I hate to, is Theory. Theory said bonkers. After that promo, Theory needs this, or everything Cena said is true. Don't want to say this, but unfortunately, A-Town down wins. I think Cena will win, but if he puts Theory over, if I was booking, says Brian, Theory all the way. Theory. Looks like most people are going with Austin Theory. Jeff, do you agree?
Yes, and this is going to be another one of those moments where people are like, I can't believe Jeff said that. Theory got his behind handed to him verbally by John Cena. That was John Cena's match right there. That was John Cena's victory.
Yep.
Austin Theory's victory is going to be defeating John Cena on the biggest stage of his career, which is going to be WrestleMania this weekend. So this is Theory's welcome to the dance. He's being put over by a legend.
Yep.
This is WWE letting you know that for the next 10 to 15 years, you're going to be seeing more of this guy. Get used to it. So I think
you know what? Everybody doesn't like him, then he's doing his job right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He was hated since the start, when the whole thing that he was Vince's chosen boy. So that, right from the start, it was played out like that. And I'm going to agree with everybody. I'm going to go with Theory here. It just wouldn't make sense for the build with logically, John Cena will not stick around. He's not going to take the title. He's not going to have the title for any length of time. So, I got to go with Theory here.
I wonder if they're trying to do with Theory what the fans wanted with Roman. Everybody wanted him to be a heel from the start.
I do think that Theory is WWE's course correction with that. I do, because they tried to push him one way, and then people were hating that. So then they're like, okay, let's lean into it. So I think I agree.
Better as a heel.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
Good points. Cena fans will be like, oh, typical, another part-timer burying a young talent. Didn't like Cena as Doctor, caused it to work, said Jacoby Peter. All right, Jeff, what do we got up next?
All right, up next we've got. I'm so looking forward to this one.
The Legends versus Bailey, Io Sky, and Dakota Kai, Becky Lynch, Lita, and Trish Stratus. 3 versus 3.
As Tazzy would say, there's a lot of peaches in that match.
Tazzy would enjoy this one. Theory is the next star. So let's start with Jeff this time. Jeff, who do you got here?
Well, since Jody shouted out Tazzy and she talked about peaches, here you go.
Peaches. That's even a creepy sound effect.
Yeah, that is a little creepy.
That's a little creepy. Yeah,
that's not a
would have been appropriate too.
Yeah,
that's not. Well, never mind. I'm gonna stop before I get in trouble. So this one, I've got to go with Becky, Lita, and Trish. I just don't think you bring them back unless one of them turns, which I think will happen. I think maybe Trish turns on the group.
Yeah.
And then I think we get a little bit of Trish and Lita or Trish and Becky down the road. So so that's the only hesitation I have, but I do think that they're going to win.
Very interesting. That's right. Yeah, you know what? It does kind of seem like it's one of those funny builds for a match where it kind of came out of nowhere. You know, you had the Becky feud going on, of course, with those guys for the longest time, and then Becky and Lita won the titles. You kind of figure that they're probably not going to hold on to those titles for very much longer. Dan mentions I got Becky and Best Friends winning, and then the next night Trish costs Lita and Becky the titles. Could happen because Lita's probably not going to stick around that long, so you could maybe see that happening leading to another program. But I'm going to agree with Jeff here, and I'm going to say that the Legends win this one along with Becky. They end up getting the win here, but maybe we'll see a little bit of a hint to something that may happen either the next night or maybe down the road, however they're going to play it. But I do think it's going to be Becky and Trish and Lita that win this match. Jody and Chris.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah, I see this as one of those classic, WrestleMania fan service matches. Let's bring back some, legends and have them have one more big WrestleMania moment. Beat taking down Bailey, and everybody likes to see Bailey get beat. So
very true. James Chadwick says Trish turns on Becky. Damage Control wins. Trish versus Becky at SummerSlam. Damage Control thanks to Trish turning heel. Trish versus Lita or Becky at SummerSlam.
I think that'll happen at some point.
Yeah,
that one of them's going to turn.
I think more than likely it may go to Backlash because Backlash always seems to be that thing afterwards where, the weird things that happen in the storylines. Now you go to Backlash and it happens there.
I'm gonna throw a wrench out there too. I think it's gonna be Becky that turns.
Oh,
okay.
Interesting. All right. The Legends most definitely can't believe Io and Dakota are finally being on WrestleMania. Yeah, that is. Yeah, very true. Gonna go with Damage Control only because of the reports of possible heel turn by Trish. Trish fights Lita or Becky at SummerSlam. And that was my guess, said Brian. All right, so there you go. What do we have next?
All right, up next we've got.
Oh my God!
Reaction. Sorry.
Going up against Logan Paul.
Well, I can tell you who I want to win this.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Boy, they're really building up Logan Paul as just this guy everybody loves to hate. Which I guess you gotta have to give them credit. They went along with it. They were kind of like wishy-washy with him. The one thing they would have him go as a face when he's going up against the Miz, and then they really didn't know what kind of place they had for him. But they really just had to go with him as a heel because people just love to hate this dude, including me.
I don't love to hate him. I just do.
Yeah. I mean, I think, first of all, let me say this. I think this is going to be a really, really, really good match. I really do. Logan Paul in that match with Roman Reigns kind of proved what he can do in a ring. I think he's probably just getting better and better training. So I really think, and again, Seth can make anybody look really, really good. So I think it's going to be a really, really good match. But that said, you don't know how long a guy like Logan Paul is going to stick around. And, if he's just going to show up at these bigger events, then I would have to say I'm going to go with Seth here. Seth has taken a lot of losses, whether it be to Cody and others, and, obviously dropped the title to Austin Theory over these last few months. So I think Seth needs a win here, and I think he gets it. And I think he'll shut down Logan Paul. So I'm going with Seth Rollins. Let me go to Jody and Chris.
Yeah, James Chadwick said it better than I could have, really. As long as Seth beats the crap out of Logan Paul, I'm fine. And Brian said it's not heel heat. I hate the guys. That's exactly how I feel. It's not heel heat. I genuinely do actually just hate the guy. So I think considering the fact that Seth has taken a lot of losses, Logan Paul doesn't need a win, and he's kind of beat Seth up over the past few weeks. I think Seth is going to win, hopefully. But like I said, as long as he beats the crap out of him, I don't care.
Yeah, for me, I feel like this is a tough one. I really, there's a lot of good arguments for both sides. I could see it going either way. If I had to lean one way or the other, unfortunately, I would lean towards Logan Paul winning. Even I do not want that at all. I'd love to see Seth win, but I don't know. I'd say I probably have to pick Paul, though. I think that's the way WWE would go.
Okay. All right. Jeff, what do you got?
Man, this is a tough one. I'm going to start this off, though, with an apology.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to apologize to Seth Rollins for disrespecting him and not putting him higher in my Wrestler of the Year voting, because what he's done over the last year and a half, I don't think people appreciate enough or respect enough. So I mean, just think about all the matches that he's had. You've obviously got the matches with Cody, but he's had so many other great matches, and if he goes in and makes Logan Paul look like $1 million, which he can make a broomstick look like $1 million in a match against him. I mean, this is going to be he's got to start winning some more so he can be in line for titles, which honestly, at this point, if he does beat Logan Paul, it makes a potential title feud with Cody very interesting, because you're gonna cheer for Seth because he beat somebody that you can't stand. You know what's really funny is next WrestleMania in Philly, they should just go ahead and book Austin Theory versus Logan Paul to see how the Philly fans.
Oh my God.
But yeah, I've got Seth. I think Seth has just been special in what he's doing. I don't think he gets enough credit because, I mean, you've got all the Roman stuff going on. There's some great storylines going on, so that's overshadowing other stuff. But Seth has been tremendous, and I think he gets the win here.
I don't think you could put anybody up against Logan Paul, and I would root for Logan. You could put Goldberg against Logan Paul, and I would root for Goldberg.
That's saying something. That is saying a lot.
Wow.
Yeah. And I would root for Goldberg.
Wow. Wow. Oh my God. Who never thought we'd hear that one? Wow. There you go. Well, Newman Co. saying Seth. A lot of people look like they're saying Seth Rollins. Can't stand Logan, but he's a hell of an athlete. Did Roman? I want Seth to win. How can they win when it's a week away? For sure, Seth is amazing, and his promo skills are insane. Let's see. I have a question. Could put a wrench in this? Could Bad Bunny return and help Logan Paul? He's not. He's going to show up at that pay-per-view they're having in Puerto Rico. Actually, I think he's the host of that.
Yeah, he's the host.
Yeah, so he'll be at that one. Jeff, that's Murder in Philly. Says James.
Yep.
Alicia wants me to check our tweets. Okay. What is next, Jeff? What do we got next?
Yeah, just imagine they threw batteries and stuff at Santa.
Yeah, Philly. Yeah, Philly's brutal, man. If Logan Paul gets out of Philadelphia, it'll be absolutely
At least
amazing.
we may all be there together.
That's true. That's true.
Very true. Oh, look what Alicia sent over really quickly. Oh my god.
I know. I already texted my mom and
white
I said,
chocolate?
Yep. I already texted my mom and I said, I need at least one bag of each of these. At least.
Oh my god. Oh, you're killing me. You're killing me. Oh, white chocolate. Oh, I love white chocolate too. Orange white chocolate would be amazing. Anyway,
Thank
moving
you,
on.
BT Seth. Logan gonna steal this win just like he stole your money.
Don't.
That's all he does is steal people's money.
Brian says, "Oh man, that's the one time I'd root for Bill too.
Yep.
I like to call him Bill because he ain't a wrestler." I know Logan's famous, but still no idea why. All right, we have got
YouTube.
The champion Bianca Belair going up against Asuka. Asuka, of course, in that persona that she's adopted, has been amazing with the spinning up the blue stuff. I love it. And Asuka just unpredictable. And Bianca, who has had a pretty long title run, going up against her. So who do we like? Asuka or Bianca? Start with Jody and Chris.
Oh, Asuka's got this.
Asuka for sure.
Hell yeah. Yeah, 100%. As soon as she came back with that, this evil clown, Asuka, Kana Asuka.
They've already built her back up at least 2, if not more, better than what she was previously when she had the title. Like, I definitely feel like they're building her up for this, and it's going to be awesome. I love Asuka and love this Kana version of her.
Yep. 100%. Put it on Asuka.
You're looking at that picture, man. I love that makeup. It almost looks as if she's got holes in her face, like showing the blue. I really love how they do that. It's really, really cool. All right. Yeah. Jeff, what you got, man?
And new. Asuka's gonna win. I truly believe that. I don't think you bring her back in this manner to have it build up to this point, which I agree, James. I kind of wish the build should have been a little bit better for this match because I feel like it's gotten lost in the shuffle a little bit.
It's going to be awesome.
But it's going to be a great match. And I think we get Asuka as our new Raw Women's Champion.
Yep.
Bianca's had a great run, but yeah, I think it's at an end. And agreeing with what everybody else said, Asuka coming back with that new persona that they built up big time, and having her out there and going up against Bianca, I think that it's going to be a huge win for Asuka, probably the biggest win she's had in her in her WWE career. And putting that gold on Asuka, I think, is going to be huge. Fans are going to love it, and yes, I do believe Asuka is going to win as well. James Grant agrees. Bianca's had the belt for at least 1 full year. It's time for Asuka to get that WrestleMania moment. Going with Asuka, says Brandon. Asuka's winless at Mania. Asuka's ending Bianca's undefeated streak, plus Bianca turns heel.
I could see that.
Dan says Asuka wins this with the Green Mist as a tribute to the Great Muta. And goes on a heel champion run before being dethroned by either Becky or returning Kairi Sane. Mad Kana vibes. Asuka says the gamer. Bianca. Okay, Gus going with Bianca. Damien says love Bianca. I think her reign has been awesome, but it's time to end that streak once and for all, and Asuka will be the one to do it next weekend. I'm from Knoxville. Bianca's home, and I'm pulling for Asuka. Let's see. Bianca is joining Montez in the new Hurt Business when they turn heel, says Jason Stauffer.
Oh, yeah.
Jason Stauffer. I like that.
That's kind of a good idea, right? Yeah. Noob & Co. says Asuka winning because they're not letting Asuka leave Hollywood not winning. This is about redemption. This is Asuka's story. All right. There you go. So we're all going with Asuka. What is next, Jeff?
Up next, speaking of Montez, he and I love these dudes. Dawkins are going to be going up against Braun and Ricochet against the Alpha Academy and Viking Raiders. So, what do we have in this one?
These 4-way tag matches are a little bit tough to call because any one of these teams really could use a push. I'll tell you who I'm going to go with here. Now, first of all, I think Alpha Academy is just going to break themselves up because we can see Otis is going to be a maximum male model. So Otis is
Hey,
going
better than what he's been doing in Alpha Academy. At least it's kind of going back to like the old Otis a little bit.
He's going back to the comedy Otis, and I kind of dig that.
That's why I didn't even say the team's name. That's why I didn't even say Alpha Academy.
Yeah, that's gonna split that whole thing up. Viking Raiders, Street Profits can really use a win. This is tough to call. You know what? I'm gonna go Braun and Ricochet. I don't really have a reason for it because any of these other three teams could win. You kind of would think maybe the Viking Raiders because they've been getting pushed. I think Montez is going to go off on his own. I don't know whether maybe something between those two is going to happen to do that and to split them up into singles competitors, but they've been saying that forever. But I'm going to go with Braun and Ricochet. I really could go any way on this one, but I'm going Braun and Ricochet here. Jeff, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Braun and Ricochet, and the only hesitation I have here is I think with the Street Profits, as much as I hate to say this, I feel like maybe it's time to split them up.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it because I love them as a team, but I feel like both can be really strong singles competitors.
Agreed.
I think Montez is a future champion as a singles star. But I think it might be time because what else can you do? They've faced the Usos a number of times. They've lost.
Yep.
What's their path back? And now you're adding KO and Sammy into the mix.
Right.
What's the path back to the titles? And I think that's I don't want that, but I feel like if they don't win, what do you do next?
Yeah.
I'm obviously Alpha Academy is splitting up Otis or whatever.
Otis.
Whatever his name is. He's not going to be around much longer with Chad Gable, which you know what might be a great thing for Chad because Chad is an underrated in-ring performer who needs to have a little more spotlight. So shine a little bit of light on Chad going forward, if you will.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, Jody and Chris.
Go ahead.
I'm actually going to go with the Viking Raiders here. I really like what they've been doing with them ever since they reintroduced them, and I feel like they're building them up. So I think they're going to give them the win here.
See, we share a brain.
Yeah, I could easily have gone for the Viking Raiders here too, because if they're pushing them, they could. And if you're thinking about that whole future, where if it's going to be Sammy and KO, they obviously would be the heels going up against those guys. So I could see it. Yeah, I could see it. I could see it almost going either way. There you go. There should be something up for grabs in these matches, either tag title opportunity or whoever loses has to split up. Yeah, it's. Some of these things, it just kind of almost looks like they're just trying to get them in WrestleMania, which is cool. But yeah, there really are no stakes. But what you hope to see happen here is that they further the storylines. Whoever wins and then whoever loses, maybe you get that little bit of a conflict in the Street Profits. And the same thing with Otis, maybe walking out and turning into Otis. Maybe that's what they're doing. So either way, but yeah, should be fun. And so there you go. I see big things for Gable too. Braun and Ricochet says Alicia. Montez is a star for singles. Yep. Chad can do good in the mid card. I need them to win. And if they don't, I need Valhalla to turn. Chad would be good in mid card, like IC or US title. Yeah. All right, Jeff, what do we got next?
All right, up next we have this tag match.
We've got a mystery a partner here that could be announced tomorrow. Oh my God, I'm keeping forgetting today. Not tomorrow. Could be announced. What could be Monday. It could be Friday. But that last team that's going to be in there. Some are saying it could be Chelsea Green, and now obviously Carmella is hurt, so it could be Chelsea Green and someone else joining her in this. So. Ronda, I was reading all kind of things that Ronda got hurt also. So I don't know if that's true. But I don't know. You never know what to believe in any of this stuff. But I don't know. Let's go. Jeff, who do you think? Well, first of all, I guess go with who do you think the mystery team up there is? And then who do you think wins?
I think the mystery team is going to be Ronda and Shayna. I think it's going to be them. Not Ronda and Shayna. Sorry. What am I talking about? They're up there. I was looking at them and thinking, that's who I think is going to win.
Yeah.
The mystery team is,
I don't even know.
I'm trying to think. Like, I'm just trying to think of who it could be. Jason Storm. I was actually going to say Toxic Attraction. I was confused for a moment too, Jesse. It's okay. We all have those moments. I'm already tired, and we haven't even started this week yet.
Right.
I'm just tired in preparation for being tired. But I maybe Toxic Attraction. I'm trying to think.
If we disappear for a minute, we'll be back. My computer says it wants to restart in 10 minutes.
Oh, no worry.
And that's they did split, but this is WrestleMania, and Mandy has said that she would like to return. That there wasn't that chapter wasn't officially closed, so just throwing that out there. That could be a. I mean, what bigger stage are you going to have than in Hollywood to bring back? Man, I'm just throwing that out there. Just gonna throw that out there. But yeah, I think Shayna and Ronda win.
Okay. All right. Let's see. I'll let Jody and Chris go just in case their computer decides to shut down. Go ahead. What do you think?
It will. It said 10:46. Your computer's going to restart.
There you go.
I don't know who that mystery team is going to be.
I don't know. I thought maybe, what about Nikki coming with somebody? I don't know, because she's been doing stuff in the background and stuff. It's got to lead to something.
Candice LeRae.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. That one I feel like it's tough.
It is a tough one.
There's nothing glaring.
No. I think Ronda and Shayna win.
I'm gonna have to go with. Oh, I'm sorry, Chris. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying I agree too. I think Ronda and Shayna is
Ronda and Shayna. Yeah, I think I'm gonna agree with that too. Tamina and Nia Jax, says James Chadwick. Ronda and Shayna win. I could see a mystery team being in NXT. Call up Kaden and Katana maybe. The Iconics. A lot of people are saying the Iconics.
I was just thinking that, I don't know if they're where they're at or if they're doing anything. I would love to see them come back. I absolutely love the Iconics. She just had a baby.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I don't know if she had. Did she had the baby, right?
Yeah, she had the baby.
Yeah,
she did have a baby.
I would pop hard if the Iconics music came up.
Yeah, that'd be pretty awesome, actually, if that would be the case. Yeah. Caden Carter and Katana. Somebody else mentioned Toxic split up. Shotzi and Natty to win, but unfortunately, I believe Ronda and Shayna. Yeah, I think it's pretty safe bet to say Ronda and Shayna win this. Liv Morgan and I mean, you never know. Again, this is one of those things where you could see anybody kind of show up here, but it does seem like Ronda and Shayna are kind of the overwhelming favorites probably to win this. So I would agree there, and we'll probably find out maybe who that other team will be maybe tomorrow on Raw. All right. What's next, Jeff?
Up next, the Beast. Brock Lesnar going up against the Nigerian Giant. Omos.
Omos. Well, I could tell you this. I'm betting this is going to be the shortest match of the night.
Yeah.
I don't think this is going to be one of your 5-star matches. I don't think it's going to go very long. Jeff's got a really good prediction for this, so I'm not going to steal his thunder if you haven't heard it already. But I'm going Brock. I can't see Brock losing. Omos, I think, is going to end up, the Hurt Business might end up coming back. And if he could be the enforcer for the Hurt Business, I think, down the line. But I got to say, I think Brock Lesnar wins this. He lost that real funky match to Bobby the last time we saw him. So I do think that he's going to win. Brock loves to win his matches at Mania, and I think Brock will win. You'll have some kind of tremendous move, F5 loss, which would be unbelievable that he would get him up. But I'm going to go over to Jeff and let him tell you how he thinks it's going to end. But I'm going with Brock Lesnar. Jeff, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going with Brock Lesnar. I think that every year at WrestleMania, and I think what people don't understand about WWE and how they book these things is that it's entertainment. So they see it as a spectacle. So you always have to have one spectacle match every year. Last year, you could argue that was the Jackass match with Sammy and Johnny Knoxville and all those folks. So that was your spectacle match. This is going to be your spectacle match. What I think happens is Brock is going to F5 Omos. He's going to beat him, and the ring is just going to collapse. And then you're going to have a break in the show, and we're going to get something, a return or a vignette or something at that point to alert us to a debut or a return, whatever the case may be. But I think we'll get a break in the show at that point, and that's how things will play out.
There you go. So the ring implodes, says Jeff. Jody and Chris are still with us. Nope. They're gone. All right. Well, there you go. That match intrigued them so much that their computer went out.
Yeah.
All right.
We're gonna restart.
They're gonna restart. Okay. All good. Well, we can catch their predictions. I'm pretty much betting what they're gonna say anyway. So if Brock leaves, I asked to give it to Omos. That's where they could do the musical performance. Yeah, true. They have a musical performance for that as well. Omos is a jobber, shouldn't have been put on the main roster too early. Derek saying Brock. Yes, I agree. I think Brock Lesnar is winning this. All right, Jeff, let's move on. We'll move past this one. We'll get Jody and Chris's picks when they restart and come back.
All right. So Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley.
This one is going to be really, really good. We got this during that Mania during COVID, and it was probably, if not the match of the show. These two are going to put on a clinic, and again, it's going to be absolutely tremendous. But I've said this, and I said this on my my rambling show. I do believe that it's time for Rhea Ripley. I believe it's Rhea's time. And I think, again, this could be the breakthrough match or the breakout match of the night, whichever night it happens to be on. It's going to be an amazing match, but I do think it's Rhea's time. And the whole thing with Charlotte taking that belt off of Ronda, I think that was in way to let this happen again and build this up proper to where they hand that title over to Rhea Ripley. So I am going with Rhea here all the way. I think this is going to be an amazing match, and it could go a good amount of time, but I think that it's Rhea's time. I think she's going to take that belt from Charlotte Flair, making it all that much bigger of a win. But I'm going Rhea Ripley, Jeff.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I talked a little bit earlier about WWE's course correction. I think that's what they do here. They're gonna do this year what they didn't have the guts to do back then, and that's have Rhea go over and win. Because Rhea, in my opinion, was at the point where she could have used that win on that stage and it would have catapulted her. And I think that even though she had that loss, the match was so good that the whole build was really good, and feuding with Charlotte was good for her from a call-up perspective. So I feel like she handled that situation well, and she's put herself in good spots. So yeah, I've got Rhea winning this, and
Yep.
we've got Chris and Jody.
Yes, Jody and Chris, really quickly, Omos and Brock.
I'm actually going to go with Omos there.
Oh, okay.
I think if they're smart, they would do that, because I feel like if they really pushed Omos, like they could make him like the next Andre the Giant. Like that guy, the size of that guy is just insane. And I feel like he could benefit so much from a win over someone like Brock Lesnar if they really want to make him just a big monster threat.
Yeah. I do think Brock gets an F5, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
So I actually think he's going to try and not be able to F5 Omos.
Really?
Again, I think that could really help Omos and just make him look like this unstoppable giant. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Omos is going to win too. I think Brock's going to put him over.
All right, and then we'll go to this one. We'll go back to Rhea and Charlotte. So, what do you guys think about Rhea and Charlotte?
Yeah, I agree.
Hands down, Rhea.
Rhea's done such a great job with the Judgment Day. I feel like it's, she's really gotten over with the fans and stuff, and I feel like that'd be good for her. And I always felt like this title run with Charlotte was just a filler to bump up her number. I feel like they're gonna try to get her to 16 or more, like her dad, at least tie with her dad. So they accomplished it. It's just a short little run to bump up her numbers. What I feel like, and I think she's gonna drop it to Rhea.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Sure. All right, there we go. Let's see. Do you think we get and did the Usos win? Rhea needs to win. Rhea wins. Rhea, a lot of people saying Rhea Ripley. Okay. Rhea Ripley gets her signature win versus Charlotte. Rhea wins. Rhea wins because revenge is forever. Rhea, I'm going with Flair, says Brandon. Wow, okay. Ooh. Brandon says Flair. I hope they let these two wrestle. Could be great. Rhea, what about Roni, this is not happening now. WrestleMania doesn't happen until next weekend. I hope. Sorry to confuse you. We're just doing predictions. But yeah, there's nothing going on right now. So, all right, Jeff, what do we got next?
All right, let's see what's next. We've got it's gonna be good.
Yes, it is. Gunther, the Intercontinental Champion, going up against Drew McIntyre and his friend, on and off friend, I should say, Sheamus. So we saw a match with Gunther and Sheamus already, and it was amazing at the Clash at the Castle. And now we're going to get a three-way. Usually when this happens, it usually ends up being good for the champion because the champion usually somehow makes his way out of this with the title. I do think that will happen here too. And I think the reason is because we're going to get the two good friends are once again going to be at odds, and it's going to be Drew McIntyre and Sheamus that are going to go at it going forward. Now, some people are saying we may get a heel turn from Drew McIntyre in this match. So almost like the roles are reversed, where Sheamus would be the face and then Drew would be the heel. So, but I'm going Gunther here. I think he retains. Gunther had that amazing showing at the Rumble. He may be the guy. We got a tease at the Rumble for this too. He may be the one who might be next in line if Cody Rhodes does indeed win the title. So that would maybe make you think that he might be dropping the belt, though. So I don't know. We'll see. But I'm going to go with Gunther here. Let's go with Jody and Chris.
My knee jerk reaction is it's Drew McIntyre time.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to go with Gunther too. I think he keeps the title here. I really want to see Sheamus win it just because the IC title is the one he's never won. I'd love to see him get that. But I don't think it's going to happen, unfortunately.
See, I think he will, but he's going to beat Drew.
Okay. All right. Jeff, what you got?
I'm going to go with Sheamus here because I believe this is his time. This is a title that he's never won, so I think it's time to do it here. Why not? I just feel like he's the consummate professional when it comes to what he does. So I think it's his time. I think it's time to do that. And like you said, Joe, we got a glimpse of what could be between Cody and Gunther at the Rumble. So I think they planted those seeds to make us think, okay, maybe this could happen down the road, and I do think it happens.
Okay. All right. Banger after banger after banger. Sheamus, I think if Gunther drops the belt, he'll get pushed to WWE belt feuds. This is one of the main matches I'm looking forward to. Sheamus gets his moments as Derek. Gunther gets his Mania moments as James. Don't know who wins, but I think Gunther loses the title.
Yeah.
Unless you all know. That's talking about that other guy. Gunther is winning. I was thinking the same things as Jesse. Drew, Gunther, and Sheamus is basically going to be these three big bastards beating the hell out of each other. Gunther retains. Drew says Alicia. Sheamus, he needs another good run. They really pushed him for a while. Sheamus needs his moment. We need to re-sign Walter. Him versus Gunther would be a classic. I voted for Drew McIntyre. Hey, Isaac, how are you? Sheamus, says Conrad. All right, we're moving on. What do we got next, Jeff? Oh my God, I can't wait for this.
I literally
I'm so excited for this match.
I think it's going to be the one I'm most excited for. No offense to Cody and Roman, but I think I might be more excited for this one.
The fact that they broke that little thing about Gangrel getting on a flight, I'm telling you right now, if he shows up there and they do that old Brood entrance with them coming out of the fire and Gangrel has the chalice, and God,
yeah,
I'm gonna mark out. But we've got Edge versus Finn Balor in a Hell in a Cell match at WrestleMania. Should be the Demon. I'm thinking it's going to be Brood Edge, and if we get Gangrel, good Lord. I am really looking forward to this match. Also, I think this is going to be absolutely amazing. They're saying it could be a different Demon look for Finn.
Especially if Jason Baker's involved.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait for this. I am really, really excited for this match. But let's start. Let's go to Jeff. Jeff, who do you got? Edge or Finn? Does Edge finally get his revenge on the leader of Judgment Day?
I believe he does. I will say this. If what's being rumored to happen happens, there are going to be some crazy reactions on this channel. Just gonna say,
you're not kidding.
There's just gonna be some crazy reactions here. But I do think that Edge wins it. I don't know. I don't know why I think that. I'm kind of going back and forth in my head right now, but I'm gonna stick with my initial and say Edge wins, and we're gonna get a really cool moment seeing Brood Edge against the Demon. I think it's gonna be tremendous.
I may need to warn my family and clear my house.
You might need some oxygen.
And then I may need to clear my house out that night. And because oh my God. I'm going to go with Edge here too, just because I think that, again, the culmination of the story, I think Edge will finally move on from Judgment Day after this, and no better way to do it than bringing back Demon Balor. A lot of people were saying, oh, well, I don't think he's going to do that because Demon Balor was a face, blah, blah, blah. I get it. It doesn't necessarily matter. Brood Edge is almost kind of like a heelish face anyway. It doesn't really matter. These two men just have a feud. And if they bring the Demon back as a different form of it, where maybe he wears some purple instead of just the red and black, maybe it makes a little bit of a difference. But you know what? Honestly, I don't care. I just want to see these two go at it. And if we get the other stuff and the rest of that happens, all the better, even more. There'll be primal screams coming from my house. The cops will be coming. But yes, I'm going to go with Edge here to finish this feud out and finally take care of Finn Balor. So Jody and Chris, go ahead.
I mean, look, all four of us here are massive horror fans. And this right here is a horror fan's dream.
Yeah.
Like, you have Brood Edge, if not a darker version of Brood Edge, versus the Demon inside Hell in a Cell.
Hmm.
I mean, you cannot write a better story than that. It's just, for a horror fan, it's freaking beautiful. And we know that Jason Baker made one of those purple masks for Finn Balor. So having Jason and potentially Tom Savini involved in this is just we're all gonna need oxygen.
Yep, absolutely.
I think we're gonna see the Demon's first ever loss.
Yep, I think Edge is gonna win.
I feel like Edge has probably got, if not this one, maybe one more WrestleMania in him at most. So I feel like this is gonna be a big moment for him finally conquering this battle that he's fought for a year.
Yep.
Agreed. Yes, this one's going to be awesome. I am so very psyched for this match. I don't know when they're going to show it. I don't know if it'll be night 1, whether it be night 2. I'm so excited. My computer froze. But I don't know. I don't know whichever night it'll be, but whatever. It's going to be awesome, and I can't wait for it. Let's see what people are thinking here. Edge says Gust. Either way, they're going to beat the living hell out of each other. Well, that's appropriate since they're at Hell in a Cell. One thing is for certain, this will be the most violent Hell in a Cell match in decades. The entire Brood. Christian was basically killed off of AEW.
Yeah.
Really? Oh my God. Could you imagine if they brought
I said earlier, I'm like, is he Christian still in AEW? I was like, man, if they could get the 3 of them, I would just
my God, that would
month.
be amazing. The whole Brood tier, sweet Lord.
Yeah.
Oh man. That would be amazing. That if I hear that music, boom, 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 I'm gonna go nuts. Oh God, that's gonna be amazing. I didn't know that. He'll come down from the mountain of omnipotence. Demon lost to Roman last year. Oh yeah, we don't want to talk about that. That stupid rope match.
I didn't think the Demon had ever lost.
It wasn't. Was that dumb? No, I think that was just Finn, wasn't it?
That was when the ropes broke.
Was he the Demon in that?
Yeah, he was.
That's why I don't want to remember that. That was awful. Yeah, they had the dumb ropes break. Yeah, that was terrible. Let's just forget that ever happened. Not count that. Yes. All right. Well, I think we got everybody. We're moving on. What's next?
Has some history with Edge and Christian.
Oh my God!
One Mr. Bray Wyatt.
Do you know what kind of pop they would get if Christian showed up in the Brood again?
Oh
Lord, man!
I might have a little something I want to bring up tomorrow on Abby's.
I'm
thinking about this. Related to this, but
preview. All right, Jeff. What do we got next, man?
Up next.
Oh
yes. Father versus son, Rey Mysterio versus that entitled little punk, Dominic Mysterio.
I can't give credit to myself for coming up with this because I think someone mentioned it before, but I'm going to tell you, you're going to hate Dom even more. And not because I don't think he's going to win necessarily, but he is going to come in to this match in a lowrider.
Mm-hmm.
He is going to come in a lowrider.
Oh
man.
I'm gonna. That's my prediction because he's gonna piss off people even more. Jesse Calynn is a huge Eddie Guerrero fan, and if Dom should do that and come down, let's say it's with Rhea. Let's say he's got Rhea in there with him, comes down in a lowrider. OMG. But this is, and I'm going to tell you,
I thought that's how they were going to get Rey to agree to the match. I thought Dominic was going to have to say, "You are not my father."
Oh man, this is a tough one to call too. I don't know how they're going to go with this. Some people are saying this could be Rey's farewell, where this might be his last match. Does he put over his son? And is that the way he's going to go out? I could totally see him doing that. And, putting him over as a pretty big heel at this point too. So is that what's going to happen? Man, I don't know. I have to think about it a little bit. I'm going to go to Jeff. Jeff, what do you think? Dom and Rey?
Oh, man. Let's be honest here. Ray's gonna put his son over.
Yeah, I think so too.
And what a great stage to do it. And another story that has been done so well, where the son becomes this entitled little spoiled little wannabe gangster fake thug piece of
Crap.
scum.
Beep.
Yes. I'm trying. I'm really trying. But Dom's gonna win this, and then we're gonna get some. This isn't going to be the last match.
Okay.
As long as they don't do another eye for an eye match.
Yeah, let's not have any eye play. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's not do that again. But yeah, just I think this is going to James Jackson.
Wow.
Where did that come from?
That's a great comment. Right there.
Wow.
Oh,
That could be the comment of the night right there.
That's comment of the night.
I might have to take a picture of that on the screenshot and put it on Twitter. Wow.
That's good right there. That is
man.
good.
Wow.
Yeah, get a picture of that. Throw that out there.
Yeah,
That's
I might have to do that. Yeah. I might have to do that. Yep. Yep. Well, there you go. Did we get? I don't even think I remember. I'm taking the picture of it right now. But did we get Jody and God? Did we get your picks yet?
No, not yet.
Go ahead.
I agree with you, Joe. To me, with them announcing Ray for the Hall of Fame, this to me feels like this is going to be his last match.
Yeah.
So I think, I agree. What better way as a dad? What better way to end your career than putting your son over? Like that's what definitely I feel like. And plus, I feel like it leaves them open for maybe a redemption storyline down the road. And Dominic realizes he was wrong and all this. They could bring Ray back and have a moment on Raw or whatever, hugging it out in the ring.
I'm proud of you, son.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think that more than likely that's probably what's going to happen. So yeah, I agree. Let's go. I really want to see Dom play this heel thing up though. Somebody said teardrop Dom. I think Conrad mentioned he needs a teardrop. Yeah. Why not? Right? Why not? All right, Jeff. What's next?
All right. Up next, I'm sharing my theory with Jody, by the way, behind this.
Yeah, I like that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, this.
Oh man.
Long-term storytelling part 1A or 1B, shall I say. My gosh. This is more than likely going to be night one's main event. I can't see them go any other way. I know I get the argument. A lot of people were saying maybe Charlotte, Rhea, and the women get a main event.
It was Charlotte and Rhea.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they decided on it necessarily yet, but I can't see them not. The only other thing I could see is maybe this opens the show, but I don't know.
I thought that was one of the stipulations of winning the Rumble was you get a main event WrestleMania.
Yeah, you could be right. I mean, they could. Yeah, they could do it that way. But this is going to be amazing.
I could see this being right before the main event.
Yeah, either before, like I said, maybe it's. Oh well, no, it's not starting the show. Obviously, that's Cena. So I don't know. I don't know.
Could start Sundays.
It could.
Tonight too.
Yeah. Bookend it with the bloodline story. It could. Yeah, it could. Either way, this is going to be amazing. But at this point, I think it's pretty predictable. I can't go with anybody but Sammy and KO here after all the buildup we've had to this and everything like that. The question about this is going to be, does Jey Uso are we going to get a turn from Jay? Does Jay finally hear what Sammy is telling him about the whole thing? About he didn't want to do this at first. And you remember Roman had matches with him, right? And beat him up at the beginning of this whole entire story and kind of persuaded him to join. So maybe Jay finally just is like, okay, he's right. And maybe that's all part of it, the story that they're going to tell here. But either way, it's KO and Sammy for me all the way. I have no doubt that it's going to end that way. Jody and Chris, go ahead.
Oh, I mean, it's going to have to be Sammy and KO.
I mean, to me, this feels like, the kind of equivalent to, Daniel Bryan winning at WrestleMania 30. Like, the crowd is just going to go absolutely nuts for KO and Sammy winning this match.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Huge crowd pop reaction they're going to have for sure. Jeff, man, go ahead. What do you got?
Oh, I never thought that I would see KO and Sammy hug it out. They hugged it out.
They did.
So they got to win, right? They got to win this. And I don't do this often. And some tell me that I don't do this enough, but shameless plug here. Go back and listen to the Tiggs episode.
Oh, yes.
Because I recall someone on this show saying that we would start to see the implosion of the bloodline this year.
Yes.
And that it would play out where everyone would lose their titles
at WrestleMania.
Yep. Oh, I feel like that's exactly what we're going to see. They're all going to lose their belts, and they're all just going to split. I think Jay leaves first, then Jimmy, and then Roman's just left by himself.
Solo.
Oh yeah, Solo. Yeah, Solo could stay with him. I don't know.
I've got a theory about Solo when we get to the main event.
It's kind of like, it's kind of like what Cody said in his promo.
Yep.
Where Roman's going to wake up alone, knowing that that everybody's gone. So it could be foreshadowing, and that could have been all part of that promo as well. So I'm kind of thinking everybody's going to say Sammy and KO.
I'm going to make a bold prediction too. It's going to be KO and Sammy, Roman at SummerSlam.
Oh, okay. For like redemption. Yeah, okay. I could see that. KO and Sammy, this is their chance to establish a new tag team division, put Gargano and Ciampa together, make a new sound tag division. The Usos win, then Triple H swerves us, and Roman keeps the title. If the Usos lose, Cody wins. Have this match before Cody and Roman back to back. I don't know. I think it could be a little bit too much. And I don't know about back to back. Maybe at the beginning and one at the end, I could see more. But yeah, you never know. Wouldn't have a problem with Rhea and Charlotte main eventing, but this story is just next level. Yeah, I agree.
I just thought it was part of the the stipulations of winning the Rumble.
Yeah, that is what they've always said.
Yeah, unless they change it.
Plus, they definitely like to have a women's match headlining whatever.
Yeah, that's they do. Yeah, I agree. They do.
So I can see it opening night too.
Yeah, one on one night, one on the other. Yeah, it could be. I just don't know where they put it on opening night because you've already have the opening match. It would have to be somewhere in the middle if they're going to go with Charlotte and Rhea as the main event for that night. So when KO and Sammy reunited, they should have done it Macho Man and Miss Elizabeth style.
Well, they wanted you to think on Friday the KO wasn't super happy.
Yeah. Yeah, when
I was like, "What? He's not going to turn on him already?"
Yeah, they're still kind of playing it up a little bit to make you kind of think that there might be some.
I heard an interesting thing the other day, and I don't think this would ever happen, but it's just a fun thing to think about. Is that what if Sammy turns on KO in the middle of this match, and it's revealed that all along this was just a big plot by the Bloodline to get KO? And Sammy, joins back with the Bloodline.
Oh my god! My god, that would be nuclear heat. Make night one about the women and night two all about the Bloodline. Yeah, you could do that. All right, man. Jeff, what's next?
All right, well, you know what the next one is.
The main event where all roads have led to. Wow, isn't that ironic? All roads have led to this. From the time that Cody debuted at WrestleMania last year, to the injury, to the Seth Rollins match, and all the way up to now for Roman Reigns, who has had that title. I don't even know how many days
900
now.
something days.
Good Lord. Going through pretty much every competitor that he had. And it has all come to this.
I don't want to remember that.
Yeah, no. Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. Who do we got, guys? Jody and Chris, I'll start with you. Cody Rhodes or Roman Reigns?
There is not a chance on this planet that Cody does not leave with those belts. That's what I say.
I was pretty confident. All right.
Look, do you remember Undertaker versus Brock?
Yes.
WrestleMania 30.
Nobody thought Brock was going to break the streak. There was no, everybody was like, oh, Undertaker's going to win this. And I think that's exactly what's happening now. Everybody's like, oh, Cody's for sure going to win this. But do you remember how long have we ever had a moment with the amount of shock factor since that Undertaker match? Like the whole crowd was in stunned silence.
I never thought the streak would be broken ever. I thought
Is it not possible if they wanted to really go for that stunned silence shock factor, have Roman beat Cody?
Yes, that would
it would do
how
that.
How much
then there'd be
heat would
riots,
Roman
I think.
How much heat would Roman get?
Oh.
If he beat Cody?
I mean, it would definitely shock everyone there. I don't know if that's the payoff. They'd be let me put it this way. They'd be amazingly bold to do that.
The problem
Triple H is amazingly bold.
The problem they run into, I feel like, is the fact that he's already beaten everybody. Okay, if Cody didn't beat him, who can beat him then?
I think Cody
there's
will.
No one left.
I do think Cody will beat him eventually. I don't know if it's going to be at WrestleMania Night 2. It's a possibility that they could go with the shock factor and have Roman beat Cody. I'm like 60-40. I think Cody's going to win, but if they really want to go for that amount of shock factor that they did when Brock broke the streak, they would have Roman beat Cody.
Oh man. Jeff, go ahead, dude.
That's a lot to think about. I like that though. That would stun people. I will say I think the plan for Cody, for many reasons, has been all along is to have him beat Roman. I think that's been the plan. I think you take the history between these two. Obviously, it's a little bit personal given the amount of confidence and work and time that he put in with Roman in the early days. You've got that personal connection. So I honestly think that Cody wins it here, but I think we get interference or a showing from Solo following this. And I think Solo, because Cody keeps telling him he's not ready. He's not ready. Well, when is he going to be ready? Well, I'll go for a long-term story here and tell you that next WrestleMania, Solo Sikoa versus Cody Rhodes.
Wow. Okay.
So I think that at that point we'll start to see Solo kind of get the opportunity to show what he can do. Because for people who haven't seen what he's done before in MLW, Solo's pretty darn good. He's good on the mic and he's good in the ring. He's shown the in the ring stuff. If they give him the opportunity to show the rest of it, I think we might be talking about the passing of the torch as the new head of the table in Solo.
I like that.
Okay. I am going to go with the end of the storyline, the end of the reign, so to speak. Maybe something Paul Heyman might say, but I'm going to go with Cody. I just think that again, with everything he's fought through, sure, could they draw it out? Maybe. I think a lot of it too has to depend on exactly what Roman's plans are. And there are people saying that Roman wants to go maybe look into doing some movies, wants to get away from the wrestling business a little bit. Some of the dirt sheets are saying he's going to take a couple months off. If that is true, then I do believe that, yes, I do believe that Roman will lose, and Cody comes away with the belt and comes away and with this long storyline that we got at the beginning of Mania last year, and comes away with the title. Go ahead.
What if you have Solo, like, let's say Cody does lose, and then you have Solo come out afterwards and say, I'm not ready, you're not ready.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, we could go all kinds of different ways. And, I think till the very end, people might be thinking that, oh, he's going to win it again, because how many times have we thought Roman could lose and then didn't? So people are going to probably be on the edge of their seats until the very end of this thing. Because, we've just thought so many times that Roman would lose a match. I mean, are we going to see the usual referee gets knocked down thing? Are we going to see Paul Heyman try to interfere? We could get all of that. I was even thinking earlier that we maybe could see that KO and Sammy come at a rundown and kind of keep the Usos from interfering. Roman's won almost everything. Yeah, Roman's won almost everything he's won with interference. Almost everything he's won due to interference. So if those guys keep everybody off of them and it's fair and square, then I think that would even be another thing that could happen where Cody would end up winning. Don't forget the bloodline runs deep. Umaga's son hasn't debuted yet. Another head of the table personnel or potentially. Cody's winning the titles. The bloodline is falling apart, and a new beginning in the WWE starts. Bloodline in MLW in Japan. Let's see what else we got here. WrestleVulture reported that Roman is taking an extended break. It tells, I did read that. That may be taking a break afterwards. So he'll beat him at SummerSlam. It's a long way to drag it out, Derek. I mean, they could, but it's months then, May, June, July or August. It's another 4 months of going through. I don't know. It's like I said, be a bold move. It'd be a really bold move because the fans that really want the payoff at Mania with Cody would be pretty ticked off. So I don't know. It'd be a very, very bold move if they didn't. So we'll see. We shall see. All right, guys. That is it for our picks. That's what the matches we've got so far. Of course, if there's anything else added, we'll have to put it out there at some point. But that is it for our WrestleMania predictions for our Sunday show. We have run long, obviously, for tonight because of the picks. So, Jeff, what have we got left for the show tonight? I think just lighter side is up.
That's it. So, Jesse, if you are still up and awake and out there, we'll turn it over to you now.
All right, Jesse, we're ready to go. And while you are getting ready, I will just announce, of course, tomorrow night is Abby's Window, 6:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join Jody and Jeff. I don't know. Is Dom going to be there? I don't know if he's at Mania. Okay. Well, Dom may be there. If not, he's at WrestleMania. I know he's traveling. So definitely Jody, definitely Jeff. Maybe Nicole shows up. We'll see. But either way, join them for Abby's tomorrow night.
We're going to be talking about the Wyatt Swamp match.
Oh, nice. Okay.
We're going to be revisiting the Wyatt Swamp match.
Nice little flashback. There you go. Obviously, they will probably have some chatting about the picture that we got of Bray and that fan in Florida. So they'll be talking about that too. So make sure you join them for tomorrow. And then, of course, Thursday, Jeff and I will be back with the live version of Impact Wrestling at 7:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Go away and take a little break. After that, we come back at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Multiverse, which will go.
You heard that correct. 11 p.m.
Yeah, that was not a mistake. We will be up late. 11 to probably 2 for that pay-per-view the following night. Join us for SmackDown, 7:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Will be Jeff, myself, Jody, of course, if she is around to join, and we will be doing that. And then afterwards, of course, the Hall of Fame ceremony. We will do a watch along for that as well. And then WrestleMania, 7:30 on Saturday, 7:30 on Sunday, both nights. We'll be doing both nights on the channel. And then,
I will be sitting in Kyle Scarborough's chair on Saturday afternoon.
Oh, very cool. There you go.
And then Sunday, WrestleMania Night 2 is my birthday.
Oh, all right. There you go. Double celebrations then.
Yep.
And then Monday, the Raw after that, Tazzy will be doing that on his channel. So make sure you join him for that. Maybe one of us or a few of us will be joining him for that as well. So that is what we've got planned for the week. If you haven't done so already, make sure you sub to the channel. Make sure you like the video tonight as well. And also make sure that you hit that notification bell to be notified about when we've got all this crazy content that we're doing this entire week. So do that as well. Again, thank you all for 5K for Twitter. That's awesome. We really, really appreciate it. Okay. Jesse, you are up. And we're going to get going. So we will get Jeff out of here and Jody out of here. And those who have to work tomorrow, I am off Monday, Tuesday, thankfully. But there are those of us who do need to go to work. So, Jesse, you're
I'm
up.
working night shift for the foreseeable future. So
Okay.
I don't have to be at work in the morning. I do have a doctor's appointment, though.
Okay. All right, Jesse, let's get him going. Good night, Derek.
So here's a question before she comes in with her first joke. Do we see Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania?
Yeah. Well, we were talking earlier in the show. There are rumors that we may need to watch Raw this week because there may be some QR codes or some White Rabbit stuff. And we were talking about that, Jeff and I, wondering whether or not that will be a build to WrestleMania or whether or not it will be a build to something that may happen at WrestleMania leading to something going to SummerSlam. And I think that's going to be the question. And I would rather the latter. Just because with only 8 days remaining, it doesn't give much of a chance to develop any sort of a storyline. So I think if we do see Bray, my guess for it was we might see a Bray attack at me. That's kind of the way I'm thinking anyway. So, but yeah, you guys can certainly comment on that as to what you think.
I think we see him in some capacity.
Yeah, I think we something or a video, a tease, something. He'll be mentioned somehow. Right. I think.
Yep, absolutely.
I also think we might see Miss Bliss as well.
Yeah, I think. She already confirmed she's going to be at Mania, so I'm sure she'll show up at doing something.
Yeah, that's right. She did.
I also think Miz is going to kill it as a host. I think he's going to do awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. All right, Jesse, let's go. You're up. 6, maybe 7. You're up. Let's go. But yeah, keep your eyes on Mania tomorrow night, and make sure you join us for Abby's tomorrow as well. Night all. I'm
There's
exhausted.
There's a lot of little nuances in that swamp match.
All right, we got joke number 1. A book fell in my head the other day. I only have my shelf to blame, though. Oh, that's awesome. That's all good, Jesse. Whatever LA Knight does should be fun. Yeah, we don't know whether or not. Yeah, we don't know whether or not LA Knight is going to be there or who he's going to.
We don't know for sure if Bobby's going to have a match or not.
No, we don't, because he's wrestling in that Andre Battle Royal. That's all we know. That is all we know. Good night, Alicia. But yeah, no, we don't know for sure what's going to happen. Like I said, maybe something happens on Friday during the Battle Royal. I don't know. Number 2, the rotation of Earth. The rotation of Earth really makes my day. We got clever jokes tonight from Jesse. Clever. We got. Sometimes Jesse goes different themes. Sometimes she has dark jokes. Sometimes she has clever jokes. Sometimes she has the ones that make you say jokes. So. Oh man, what a week it's going to be.
Yeah, I'll be working nights probably until I go to England.
Ugh.
Yeah,
I think LA Knight eliminates Bobby, setting up the match at Mania between those. Okay, yeah, could be. I mean, well, there you go. Perfect way for Bray to attack. There, he is his past opponent versus his future opponent. So, yeah, that'd be a good one. Okay.
I have a wild theory that I'll share with the rest of you tomorrow. I'm not playing tonight, so
there you go. Tune in. Number 3 is up. A dung beetle walks into a bar and asks, "Is this stool taken?" Oh, I love it.
Just in case you guys forgot, April 3rd, the Raw after Mania for Abby's window. I'm leaving the floor open to anybody that wants to come on video and talk and chat with us about Bray, because it's my birthday celebration.
I'm going to get one of those Scream voice changers and I'm going to come on. You're not going to know it's me. I'm just going to. Well, now you will. But yeah. Number 4. Adam and Eve were the first ones to ignore the Apple terms and conditions.
That's a good one.
That's really good. Yeah. That was really good. That's good. Jeff, what a bloody tease you are, says James Chadwick.
Hey, we're gonna have people come to the show tomorrow,
right? Right.
Not saying that me giving my prediction is gonna change anything, but maybe it'll bring 1 or 2 people.
It's called the segue. We like segues. I hate when wrestlers go metric. That's why, to me, CM Punk will always be 0.39 inches Punk, and Lita will be 0.22 gallons. That's good, Barry. That's good. That's good, Barry. That's good. I like it. Hassan says, "Happy birthday to you, Jody." I guess he's wishing you an early birthday. There you go. All right, we're waiting for number 5.
Hell of a weekend. Getting a tattoo from Kyle, and then my birthday and Wrestlemania, and yeah, man,
it's going to be a really fun rest of the week. Rest up, everybody, because it's coming. It's coming. Oh man, it's going to be a big week. Good night, Gust. Take care. We will see you soon. Again, like I said, make sure you drop us a like on the stream before you head out. If you haven't done so already, please. Number 5. When the cannibal showed up late to the buffet, they gave him the cold shoulder. Oh my God.
Jesse, I'm liking these tonight. These are really good.
Yeah.
Very clever.
Jesse's on a roll tonight. James Grant liked that one. Look, there you go. Oh my gosh. Love it. Love it. James says, I'm just going to sit on my ass and enjoy this week with no lists to do. There you go. Just, yep. I mean, where the hell would you have the time between everything that's going on? Patrice is here. He popped in and laughed at that last joke. Oh, man. Love it.
So, Joe, you remember Friday we were talking about how people's brackets were busted?
Oh, God, they're destroyed now.
Yep.
So this thing just came out. 37 brackets picked the correct men's Final Four out of 20 million.
Out of 20 million.
Out of 20 million.
Out of 20 million, 37 correct brackets.
Those 37 people must have just shot darts at the chart. Because if anybody picked any of those teams, it's incredibly ridiculous. Yeah. Number 6. If you don't pay your exorcist, I don't like this joke, do you get repossessed? Jeff, wasn't there a horror movie comedy spoof called Repossessed?
Yes.
I knew it. Yeah.
Yes.
I knew it. Yeah. It's one of those old spoof horror films that they did I think it was in the 80s. I want to say it was probably, but yeah, I remember that.
Speaking of horror films, Chris was not a fan of The Outwaters.
Really?
I didn't see it yet.
You gotta. I enjoyed it. I thought it was really, really good, except for the part where certain body parts got cut off.
Yeah.
But other than that,
was there mutilation?
Yes.
Yes.
What was that movie with Willem Dafoe where there was a lot of mutilation in that respect? Oh my God. I can't remember the damn name.
It just makes me think of Terrifier 2.
No.
There was some mutilation in that one too.
There was some really bad mutilation in this movie that I'm thinking of, and now I can't remember what the name of it is. It's gonna bother me now. It's a very strange movie. What is Phil Collins' idea of a perfect weather day? No jacket required. Nice, Dan. Album. Very, very nice album trivia there. I had one another, but since it's technically saying the H word and I have a standard of living to uphold in these, I think it's best not to tell it. All right. Well, there you go. So on that note, we're done. Hope you had a good time tonight, folks. We sure did, doing our predictions and stuff like that. And all I got to say is just get ready. We have a big week ahead of us. And like Jeff said earlier, enjoy it. It's out there to have fun. It's out there to enjoy everything that comes on this week. Just enjoy it. Don't let the negativity get to you, because the morons that are doing that don't even deserve your time or attention. So just sit back, enjoy it. It's one of the most fun weeks of the year for pro wrestling fans. So just enjoy it. And and we're going to be right along here with you. So make sure you come and join us again tomorrow, Abby's Window, 6:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Jody and Jeff. Make sure to join them. That is it for us tonight. Again, thank you for 5K. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel. Please make sure you hit a like on the stream, and please hit that notification bell to be notified about when we have future content. All right, guys, have a great rest of your night. Please stay safe. Be kind to one another, and hopefully we will see you all for our next show. Have a good night, guys, and we'll talk to you soon.